They return with a bit of confidence. Talk about confidence. This team is riding the crest of a wave at the moment. 10 wins, 2 losses, and they know they are good enough to take on anyone.
Yes, both teams in good form. Adelaide coming off 4 victories and the Geelong coming off 2 victories. So you would think that they would be able to turn it on this afternoon. And the Cats, their forward line, when we have a look at that, they've got the capacity to kick a big score this afternoon.
They do. Interesting to note, too, the way the teams get away after the first siren is that Geelong have won more first halves and more first quarters than Adelaide this season. Can they sustain that for the full game? We'll find out. Let's go down and speak to Mark Bomber Thompson. Now, he is with Jason McCartney.
Well, Bomber, haven't got a great track record in the state, but you'd be buoyed by the performance 2 weeks ago at Subiaco.
Yeah, well, look, we put ourselves in a position where we had to win in the state, and 2 weeks ago we did that in Perth, so very happy with that, but today's a bigger and another challenge.
The Crows' defence, ranked #1 in the competition. How are you going to penetrate that today?
Oh, well, we hopefully we'll have some good, quick entries, and by that we've got to win the ball first and just move it really quickly, and that's when we play our best footy, but obviously Adelaide are going to try and restrict that.
You also must be pleased, Tom Harley back in, the captain Stephen King in. You're starting to get a resemblance to your best 22.
Yeah, look, it's starting to come together, and we've done a bit of hard training over the last 6 or 7 weeks, so yeah, everything's sort of going in the right direction, but it's a big game today.
Simon Goodwin, he's probably been the standout in what's been an outstanding even team performance this year so far, the Crows. What's in store for him today?
Oh, hopefully not many kicks. Pretty hard to stop, though.
Thanks for your time, Bomber. Good luck.
Okay.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you to Bomber down there. Yeah, just stop him getting some kicks. That'll help.
Yeah, we mentioned a couple of players that weren't even playing in that night grand final victory. Harley, King, and also Ottens weren't playing. And there's that forward line, Ablett, Mooney, Kingsley, Chapman, Nathan Ablett named full forward, and Ottens. They could kick the 16 or 17 they'd need at least to win this afternoon.
Well, if they kick 4 a quarter on average, they're going to win this afternoon. Mooney was the one who gave them troubles, gave Adelaide troubles last time they met here in that night grand final. Down back, they've always been settled with Scarlett in the key position there.
We used to laugh, joke about the fact that when they first started playing together, Paul Chapman, because he lived at Torquay and because Gary Ablett Jr. didn't have a licence, Paul Chapman used to drive him to training, and it was worth his place in the team just for doing that. But he's proven that he's been a very good player over the last few years.
As you see there, the club averages 5th in disposals, 2nd inside 50s, 1st for tackles, 2nd for goals, and he's 2nd for goals behind his mate who's riding in the back seat in all the comfort. Gary Ablett, 1st for goals, 1st for goal assists, 1st for hardball gets, and 7th in disposals. For a small forward, stay at home, who only spends, at best, 10-15 minutes on the ball, 18 possessions is a wonderful return as a small forward as well.
The Adelaide lineup, they've got some quality as well, Dermot. They've got some sensational players from back to front. You talk about fullbacks. Well, Rutten's the All-Australian fullback. Bassett's been in great form, got the 3 Brownlow votes last time these two teams met. So they've got the capacity with McLeod and Johncock to hold Geelong to a low score. They've been holding most teams to a low score this year.
Best start to the season they have ever had since entering the competition. Rutten has only had 13 goals kicked on him in the first 12 games this season. So, look, you could just about pencil him in. Barring injury, you could just about pencil him in for back-to-back All-Australian full-back positions, as you call. Stevens has been a revelation at centre-half back. And this man, I wouldn't call him a revelation. We know he's a star. We know he's a superstar. And that's his tribute. Is that to the World Cup soccer and his voiced opinion about how the Aussies should have been a little bit, they were hard done by.
Although maybe he just needs a few more Brownlow votes to get over the line, Dermot, for one.
Just needs a few more. Gee, he's got plenty under the belt already. Well, it was back in March when the Cats journeyed over here to AAMI Stadium and they went home with a cup.
In 2006, White Line Fever's all-new lineup delivers the biggest names in the game. Monday, the Ox and Spider return. Tuesday, Rockety joins Tony Shaw. Wednesday, Terry Wallace gets you the inside word. Thursday, Matty Lloyd and David Parkin. Friday, Night Fever, Hamill, Bucks and Sheehan. For in-depth analysis and latest football news, White Line Fever. Weeknights, 7:30 Eastern.
Get it hot and get it now at Harvey Norman. Hurry in for Sunbeam's Ultra Steam and Spray Iron. With continuous clean steam performance, a scorching $39. Hot price and an effortless close shave with the Brawn Free Control Men's Shaver. Easy to clean and only $55. And treat yourself to the benefits of bagless technology. No loss of suction. Dyson's Barrel Vacuum, now a hot $748. Check the catalogue out now from your electrical specialist, Harvey Norman.
Go, Harvey Norman, go!
It's 1970 Blues versus Pies.
Alex Jezelenko.
Alex Jezelenko! Can Jezzy, you stand here. I'll be Mackay. Dave, you can be Jurgen Jenkins. A little bit of leverage for Jezelenko. Upiote. Takes it to the wing position. Oh, Jezelenko! Upiote! Yeah!
Oi.
Yes! Nice grab.
When they last met, it was a night few fight fans will forget.
This is a very, very good fight. An excellent prize fight.
The best of their era. Fernando Vargas and Shane Mosley traded blows until the fight was stopped in the 10th round.
It's a technical knockout victory. It goes on the score sheet as a knockout.
On July 16, they won't be letting the doctor stop the rematch so quickly. Mosley v. Vargas 2. Sunday, July 16 at 11 a.m. on Main Event. All-Australian, Norm Smith medalist, Brownlow medalist, captain. Only a premiership eludes West Coast Eagles superstar Chris Judd. Will it be this season? And is he contemplating a return to Melbourne to continue his career? Find out as he joins Jared, Mike and Robert on the couch, live and exclusive Monday, July 10 on Fox Footy Channel.
Amy Stadium, Sunday football, and the two captains come together. One's a big cat and the other is a great big cat. The Big Roo and Stephen King as they go to out to their teams to advise of the toss result there. Good afternoon, Dennis Cometti.
Hello, Derm. Shades of David Hasselhoff there, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yes. We made him an overnight sensation, sort of. That was a song for Chapman and Adelaide. Jump in my car, wasn't it? The old Ted Mullery song.
Ted Mullery song redone by the Hoff, and I knew you would be onto it straight away.
There are classics and there are classics, Derm.
Oh, they settle you down, the Hoff over the ball.
This should be a terrific game this afternoon. So big for this club. Geelong, their record 5-7, found a bit of form before the break. Looking at their team, you've got to say, Derm, it's as strong as they can get on paper almost, but a few of these players have missed some football, so it depends how much work they've got into them in the last fortnight.
How much run they've got in there, because there is a, well, it's pretty wide open ground out there. One bloke who's played out there a fair bit, Jason McCartney.
Good afternoon, Dermot. Look, as you mentioned in the lead up to the game, tremendous conditions, bright sunshine at the moment. A lot of rain here yesterday. There is some dark clouds hovering around, so hopefully they don't have an impact on this game later on. Looking forward, you mentioned Ablett and Chapman for Geelong. Looking forward to them probably being matched up by John Cock and McLeod.
Yeah, be interesting matchup, that one, as you called, Dwayne. John Cock has been in wonderful form. He's been thrown around a little bit over the last couple of years, but he seems to have settled down back now because he can be so creative in attacking. He's a young man. He's got a bit of confidence about himself, hasn't he?
Well, I think he's grown into one of those players that you almost have to
tag as a forward.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have his work cut out. He'll have to just sum up Paul Chapman first, because he is an exceptional player in his own right.
Sunday football, opening bounce, James, Chamberlain and Pennell, the umpires this afternoon. First kick coming up for Joel Corey. Well, he hand passes, feeds it back. Callan's kick. They've been touched off the boot. It goes down towards half forward. There's a whistle behind.
Had to be
and the free kick will go to Mooney.
Doesn't matter if Mooney initiates the contact here. It is that Stevens has taken his eye off the ball and taken him to ground. Now, Mooney's allowed to initiate contact if it doesn't push or shove or anything. Don't have your eye on the ball if you're going to do that.
McLeod was oblivious to all of that, coming back to punch. The ball was touched, I think, and Mooney has swung this one right to left. Opening score registered very quickly. Geelong are behind. Adelaide yet to score. Glorious day, but as you heard, plenty of cloud about.
So here is John Cock. He can kick a long ball. He used to do kick-to-kick with Dean Lucan. He used to live across the road from him at Port Lincoln, so you'd need to be able to hoof it a long way. Shirley sends it wide. Bouncing ball eludes Stephen King, and rolls out of play, will get a ball in. Good to have King back. A number of these key cats weren't playing in the night grand final victory here earlier in the season. Stephen King, Ottens, Tom Harley wasn't involved that evening. And they came from behind to win. Biglands knocks it down to Matner. He's been starting something all year. Might start something here. Handball, Shirley, caught. And the boundary line, the sanctuary for him after an initial fumble, and we'll get another ball in.
Cats bench. Tom Harley starting on the bench. Surrounded by plenty of pace. Not saying he's slow, of course. Here's Massey. Kingsley went after the football. Now Matner found it. Edwards under pressure. Hurried kick. Hangs a long time in the air. Callan mistimed his leap. Could have almost been a free in front. Hand pass comes across to Thompson. High ball down towards half forward. Bartell goes back. Takes a very good mark. Kelly. This is Chapman across half back. Scalded a long way up the ground. Chapman, slick hands, taken well by Ling low down. Manages to get the kick away, but he was under pressure. Burton in the road then. McLeod, back come the Crows. Rutten sends it up towards the wing. Now a chance for the Crows. Henschel running down towards right half forward. Everybody is going back at this stage. Now a couple come towards him. Henschel, though, goes inside the 50, sets it long. Burton from the side. Big lead. Split the pack. Callan didn't get up. Over the football, John Cock chasing it towards the line. Burton, did he keep it in? Still going. Burton dragged off it. Kicks it across the face of goal. Henschel goes in. Close to the boundary line. Heard the voice. Doughty. Clever. Edwards has got it. Callan seems to be okay. He's on his feet. John Cock's got the football. It may have been a knee from the high-flying Burton. Watch it again. Oh, right on the chin.
Oh, that is... Yep. Oh, that's... yeah, that could be bad. Let's keep the fingers crossed for him.
Well, he's on his feet. He seems to be okay, and we've eliminated the glass jaw.
We know the boy can take a hit.
He can take a punch. That's good. That was great courage by him, too. Not that he had much option. John Cock, meantime, 35 metres out, slight angle, comes in and rams it into the post. This is the home of posters, this ground.
It used to be the big square wooden ones, Stan, but that was changed.
Yeah.
Full house this afternoon. It was a sellout earlier in the week. And how about the roar when they went forward for the first time, the Adelaide Crows? Hunt. Long kick, Doughty and Biglands, the flyers for Adelaide. Ball knocked down. And he's in good firm form, early Burton. Chips the kick inboard. Shirley, possession number 3 for him. To McLeod. Pokes it inside 50. Big crunch comes and illegal punch from Milburn. And it'll be a free kick to Riley inside 50.
Big dealing out some... Yeah, that's fair. He's had to go at the ball.
Yeah, and in fairness too, he got his knee to the side. I mean, he could have done a lot more there, couldn't he?
Absolutely.
So he's up, but he won't take the kick. So he can't take the kick, Brent Riley. It'll be Tyson Edwards to take it for him, which means that Riley's almost compelled to come off. And Jason will keep an eye on him. Hopefully he's okay. And Tyson Edwards is having this kick from virtually where Graham John Cock had the last kick. Kicking against a slight breeze in this opening term, Adelaide. And that's pretty good off the boot. That is a sensational kick. Bent with the breeze. And the Crows get the first.
He's a good player, isn't he?
He's a super player. Very, very talented player. Sometimes I look at him and think, is it fortunate or even unfortunate that he doesn't get the correct kudos playing in a team that also houses Rashudo, McLeod, Goodwin.
And Bickley.
Yeah, Bickley from the last era probably detracts from the kudos that he should really receive.
Even Kane Johnson overshadowed him for a while.
Yeah.
Tyson Edwards coming off 25 possessions in round 12 against the Saints. The 21st man taken in the 95 draft. What a bargain. What a player. Goodwin, as if on cue. Edwards gives it off again, gets it back again from Massey. Has a bounce. We've inspired this guy. Going out towards the wing. Back to Massey. On the outer side, McLeod. Back towards the middle. They're looking very impressive at the moment, the Crows, sharing the football around. Everybody is getting touches. Doughty, penetrating kick inside the forward 50. Good mark down there, not paid. Burton across the body. Kicks it behind.
Enright, I think.
Yep.
Well, he had it long enough in slow-mo.
Well, I thought he had it anyway, and then Burton seemed to slap it out belatedly.
Milburn finds Scarlett in the back pocket. One of the 3 father sons in Geelong's team this afternoon, one of the 5 on their list, and it'll be 6 next year. They get their new gun. Kick towards the wing, off hands, nearly Enright. Should have been paid the mark moments ago. Might get a free for in the back. No. Little unlucky again. We'll get a ball up on the wing. Goodwin and Cameron Ling going head-to-head at the moment. And Josh Hunt with the job on Mark Rashudo.
That'll be a great test for Josh Hunt.
Bigland slaps it back into the corridor. Coming hard, Burton. He really wanted it. Gave it to Thompson. Caught. Good tackle. Can't get rid of it. Bartel had him well. And he is virtually the #1 tackler in this Geelong outfit, Jimmy Bartel, and we'll get another ball up.
Having a good season too, Jimmy Bartel. A couple of years ago, got 14 Brownlow votes. Over the top, Biglands maybe, marginally. King picked it up though. Enright. Chapman comes away from the congestion, looking down towards half forward. Kingsley will need to go. Over the top, John Cott. Kingsley, well, in the opposite direction, and hitting him hard was Doughty. Kingsley fights back. At the base of that is Ablett. Kingsley a bit stiff there. A couple of times.
Had he gone down a little bit lower, he'd have copped a bit of contact on the top of the head and he would have got the free kick.
Maybe he was aware of that. Down goes Bartel. But he was a bit stiff. The ball didn't run on for him, wasn't he? It sort of bounced on its point and went back behind him.
Surely your way of thinking through footy is you're willing to cop a tap on the head for a free kick.
Not a stealing one, Derm. See, that's the thing. He's just being nice about it.
I think I gave you an insight there. Kelly tracks it down towards the 50, feeds it back towards the middle. Bartel, awkward bouncing football, well played. Enright at close quarters. Ling, Kelly, 60 metres out, over the head of Ablett. Missing the mark. Bassett goes back after it though. Well done. Taps it out to the advantage of McLeod. Any foot will do from McLeod. Pack collapses. Obviously McLeod is he. And we'll have a bounce about 35 metres out.
Something about those new boots, Dennis. They just can't.
They've got a will of their own.
They have. They're dancing shoes. They're like the red slippers. Edwards again. Shirley, half-back flank. Possession number 5 for him coming up. McGregor leads short. That's ignored. 8 plays 1. Early stages, opening term. Biglands. He was in position 8. Didn't complete the mark, but gathered his own crumb. And bumped as he kicked it, and a good bump too. Out of bounds on the full. Well played by Stephen King.
Geez, to see that Josh Hunt throw that ball back then, not only can he kick it, he's got a throwing arm like a quarterback. It's amazing. He's thrown that 30 metres a spiral, Dennis. You'd love that sort of stuff.
I missed it.
Oh.
Obviously, Kingy wasn't thinking straight that time as he kicked into the man on the mark. He was distracted as well. Coming through, Edwards does nicely. Doughty. Corey took him down. Well played. King went to ground. Edwards. Biglands. And now Henschel. Hard against the boundary line. Running it down towards half forward. Sets it up again from behind Bode. No, he stayed out of the contest and Rook did very well. Man to man with a good aerialist there in Burton and beat him. Goes wide to Chapman. Nothing on to the far side of the ground. He's got a bit of a problem. Pulls it back. Ling comes towards him. Knocked away by McGregor. Taken by Massey. Goodwin back to Massey. Massey off his step. The son a problem for Rashudo. Still has time. Hunt took him down. The tackle lingered. And I think he'll be penalised. He is.
Rashudo. Blinded by the sun. You can always give him the benefit of the doubt that he was.
Yep.
Gives it off, Massey, and now McLeod. We'll see how these boots are now. Inside 50. Burton, the big fly over the top. Couldn't bring the mark down, but it was good to watch. Rook sidesteps through some traffic. Hasn't got a lot to go to again. Edwards might cut it off. Possession number 8 coming up for Tyson Edwards. We've only played 11 minutes. Finds Massey. Loads up long. The Birdman's down there. And the good fly taken by Scarlett.
Brett Burton's fly at the ball before. It was a massive jump from the back of the pack, but the ball actually dropped about 2 metres away from him.
Milburn, Bartel, yes, interesting situation. Benny Graham has got the NFL as a kicker. A lot of these players now expecting a call from the NFL. I think Brett Burton's expecting a call from the Blue Angels. Rutten gets a hand pass over the top. Running it out, Porplesia. Kicks towards the wing, having to stretch and taking a very good mark is Thompson. Thompson plays on quickly. Porplesia pushes up the ground, kicks inside the forward 50. Pitches just inside the line. Was Burton across? That was very tight. Clever hand pass down at Porplesia. Still coming. Deserved a goal. He misses.
He did well to keep it alive. Most people have given up on it. Now watch where he jumps from. Drops to the front of the package. He's got a wonderful leap, hasn't he? A lot of the time, it's not the lift of the players in front of him. He just has an enormous vertical leap.
Jason McCartney works overtime when he works on Sunday afternoons, trying to decipher what the breeze is doing. We might have to get him into work again, because it looks as if Geelong's kicking with one worth a goal or two. Scarlett drops it. He mopped up his own mess. Callan, and now Hunt chips the kick. Ling, half-back flank. Cameron Ling held up. Back to Callan, runs into traffic. Trouble here. Kingsley caught by Bassett. Disposed of it legally according to the umpire. Ling got the handball out, but it found Thompson. He got the handball out in the direction of Bode. Caught by the tackling extraordinaire Jimmy Bartel. Ball bursts clear. Callan, Ablett Jr., Rook, and now Kelly goes to the open side. Nice ball to Stokes. Back home where he played a little bit of footy with Woodville West Torrens. From Darwin originally. Stokes goes long, hoping for Mooney. Unkind bounce. Stevens picks it up, goes to McGregor, and they're away again down the outer side. Chip kick is perfect. Henschel just over his head.
Oh, good play.
Scarlett. Again, that breeze playing havoc with the judgment of a few players. Ablett Jr. runs to 60, gets the long kick at goal, and he misses. Only a behind. Jason, what's that breeze doing?
Dwayne, a southeasterly, mate, so maybe slightly favouring Geelong, but more pushing across the ground.
Okay.
There's Downey. Up towards right half back.
Now look at that. Two blokes stand on the mark and they watch as Graham Johncock just runs 25 metres ahead. Kelly and Kingsley just allow it to happen.
Bassett. Massey did well, knocked it down to the advantage of McLeod. Tackled front on by Chapman, storming through. Unorthodox but effective there by Matner. Gave it to Shirley. Kick comes from Riley to half forward. Good to see him back on the ground. Bode in trouble. Taken down by Hunt. So the umpire will ball it up about 70 metres out.
Let's have a look at this again. Look, two on the mark, and they're both looking at Graham Johncock. No, you go. No, you go. Oh, I better. That's terrible.
Quite right. Biglands. That's a lovely kick. Just drifting on the breeze. And through for a behind.
Every time Bode has gone near the footy so far, he's been met with a triple tackle situation. He's probably thinking, it's pretty hot out here.
Milburn made it hard there. Hunt had to go against a man coming up from behind Dowdy. It's okay for the Cats. Weight of numbers tells the story. Bartel involved. Kingsley. Ottens gave it back to Kingsley. Now Bartel once more, but it's an erratic kick. McLeod just cleaning up yet again. Goes to McGregor. Oh, bit lucky there, Egan. Now Stokes backs off a would-be tackler. He's got plenty of pace. Untidy hand pass, though, Kelly. That was much better. Egan, now Wojcinski. Decides to take them on. Wojcinski runs away. Oh, great pressure. Bode threw himself across the boot. Taken high as a result, I thought, Matner. No free kick. He can't believe it. Neither can this crowd. And umpire James was only about 15 metres away. will bounce it.
Wonderful smother. I think that was, he actually went high up on the forearm, but didn't get him over the shoulder. I thought it was a wonderful application of the tackle in the end.
Good game to watch. Ablett, Wachinski, Ling, Ablett again. And Mooney's taken the mark on 50. Is he within range?
Once Rutten is occupied with the likes of Ottens, they don't have a big, powerful backman to actually stand toe-to-toe with Cam Mooney.
Goes to Milburn, who was on his own, lurking 25 metres from goal. Perfect pass.
Come down from the half-back flank. Yeah, so look, Rutten, have a look at the... Oh, yeah, it did get him high early, but then by the time he's turned to the umpire's side, he's moved the arm down. So, well done. That is a beautiful, low, flat drop punt that reaches the target.
Milburn from 25. And he slots it. Gets the Cats first.
The Cats are overusing it a little bit by hand around their half-back line, trying to put a player into space who is therefore going to kick without any pressure. Doesn't always happen. They're overusing it and later getting a tackle on them. But apart from that aspect, I know they're only one goal on the board, but the Cats are enjoying a little bit of a good patch here. They're finding some marks. They're finding a little bit of space.
Darren Milburn, a jack of all trades, 7 goals for the season. He's a valuable player. He's 2 points the difference.
He's the epitome of a professional league footballer.
Yep. Shirley tries to soccer it forward. Or Pleasure. Bit of trouble there. Belated whistle and a ball up. Somebody had him by the arm and somebody was holding the ball to him, so he was virtually helpless. Another bounce. Over the top, Milburn thumps it down towards half forward. Coming up is Chapman, coming back McLeod. McLeod didn't stick the tackle. Opportunity for Kingsley. Stokes is through. Here's a chance. He snaps and he misses. Off the ball, slow to get up is our man Bassett.
You cried something here. What happens?
Mooney.
No, you kept it down. Shoulder just went across the chin, I reckon, but...
inconclusive, too?
Oh, it was conclusive. Contact was made, but I think it was fair.
Rutten to McLeod.
Shepherded him.
Runs the defensive 50. Massey wants to come back inboard. John Cock chips the kick. Riley. Just working the ball between them. Goodwin. Back to McLeod on the wing. They set it up nicely. The kick towards McGregor. Just over his head. Bode. Tucked into the pocket. Wants to kick central. Wobbles it in Rashido's direction. The 1-2. Might have been a set play. Bode goes toward the goal square. And it sits poorly for Burton. Thumps it down. And Ottens found Corey. Chip kick Chapman. Cats on the rebound. Ablett Jr. Sidesteps beautifully. Runs the midfield. No one ahead but Kingsley. And hits him.
They're having a good patch here, the Cats.
He really had to use his eyes there, Gary Ablett.
He had to work out who was going to be in space by the time he actually got the ball delivered, and he had to keep his wits about him. He estimated that McLeod was going to get there at a certain stage, and he was able to dish off before.
And Kingsley, another former South Australian, grew up at Angaston, next door to the famous Hayes stables. Part of a twins trade to the Kangaroos. He and his brother Wade traded for Paul Geister by Port Adelaide. And Kingsley's missed to the near side. Only a behind, scores a level.
Interesting situation there while he was lining up. Cam Mooney having a long talk to umpire Ray Chamberlain. Gave him a little pat on the back as well. Not sure what that was all about.
Tell him that the contact was fine, or?
Well, I presume so.
You don't report and pat on the back at the same time, do you?
No, no, it's an unlikely combination. Stevens goes towards the outer side. Fisted forward by Milburn. Massey arrives first. Well done, Wojcinski. Timely hand in there. Otten slides in against Marriage, and the umpire will ball it up on the outer side wing. 6 minutes till quarter time.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just at the wrong height.
Oh, speaking of the devil. Meantime, chance there for Corey. Enright. I know it's confusing. Stokes comes away. Long kick inside the forward 50. Dropping back, Madner takes the mark. John Cobb. So important to them coming out of defence. McLeod has started very well.
They've got to do something about McLeod now. Put a defensive forward on him.
Downey takes a sliding mark. Scores a level. 10 points apiece, but Geelong have the breeze. Bassett seems to be okay. He's pushed up the ground from 60 metres out. Goes very short. Henschel lost it. Bassett does well. Offers the Shepherd. Henschel bought some time. Goes with the banana. And just as he was peeling, he was met solidly by Rook.
Up comes off. Tom Harley comes into the field.
Milburn to Enright. Ottens holds it up for a second, but spots an opportunity wide, and he missed Ablett Jr. Picked up by Matner. Pokes it inside 50, and beautiful pass, Rashudo.
Well, as I called that Josh Hunt was coming off, Tom Harley walks over onto the mark now, so he was unmanned. They tried to work it so that Geelong had possession. Right now, Tom Harley saying, where's Rashudo, as he's running onto the field. Turnover, and the first one who spots him is Matner.
Matner has been a great player for the Adelaide Crows. Speaking of underestimated players, or not recognised by the wider community as being a sensational player for this Adelaide lineup, at least. And Mark Rashudo, second highest goal kicker in Adelaide Crow history, extends their lead to 7.
Adelaide are into the wind, and they've got the lead. But I don't dislike the way Geelong are going about it at the moment. They just need to tidy up their execution of some of their skills in the back half of the ground. They've tried to bite off a few impossible passes. They just need to keep it a little bit more simple. I don't mind the way they're going about it and playing.
Mark Rashudo, 31 goals for the season, including 6 against Collingwood in round 1. Margin 7 points. One down by Marich. Riley at close quarters to Edwards. A very high ball down towards half forward. Coming over the top, Harley. That was a good mark. Kept his eyes firmly on the footy. Enright at centre half back. Swings it wide. Here's Milburn. Nothing on for him on the far side. What about coming back towards the middle? Still some indecision. Now he decides to go. Very wide. Massey had it knocked away by Ablett, close to the boundary line. Nathan tried to flick it back to Gary, who applies a tackle on Matner. Matner didn't have the footy, but it's going to be a boundary throw-in.
Now, the short pass went to an impossible target, and the option is you can go long to an impossible target as well with Mooney, and he just dumps it over the boundary line, but at least it's 50 metres from goal.
Marich tried to thread a handball out. Knocked down by Massey, but to Ling. Feeds it back to Enright. Just gets the kick away in time. High ball. Matner! Landed like a cat against the Cats. Chips it towards Burton. Left it behind. He's Tagger Rook. Burton went back and got him. He might have left the ball behind, but he wasn't leaving his man there. Doughty. Play on advantage. Sends it long. McGregor can't mark it. Off hands. Enright getting back to lend assistance. Harley. Scarlett, King, Callum. They can set it up again. Tries to spear the pass, looking for Nathan Ablett, who hasn't touched it yet. And there's that man. Matner sends it wide and bodes away.
Right on the wing, down towards half forward. Henschel finding space. Rashudo leads. Needs to be a good kick. It is. Matner having a purple patch.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Dream about those, Twino, in your sleep, don't you?
Still, which is rather hard to believe. But
there's so many other things to dream about, but you just like it being thrown up there above somebody's stationery, and it just hangs up above their head.
Rashudo. We've discovered no easy kick on this ground. The breeze coming right to left, pushing the ball away from goal. He hits it hard, but the breeze does grab it. And through it goes for a behind. Almost an impossible kick over that journey on this ground this afternoon.
Jason McCartney said earlier the clouds are coming in, so that breeze may even swing a little bit as the game progresses. Enright inside 2 minutes to quarter time. Been an entertaining opening term.
He went over.
He did, and it'll be a ball up. Well, that's almost a little bit of time wasting there from Milburn. He knew the free kick was there. Well, he knew the ball was coming back at least.
The umpires do cut a bit of slack for this kicking rule. The foot, the entire portion of the foot is meant to be on the inside of the white line.
Marich and King, and a free kick will go Adelaide's way.
Oh, dear.
So Thompson was grabbed, according to the umpire.
I was pretty happy with the way Cats are going about it, but in the last 2-3 minutes, it's just come unravelled a bit. Now,
well, such an easily stopped mistake. I mean, you give yourself an extra metre for the kick in, and this doesn't happen. Scott Thompson, 11 goals for the season. And it's still hard to kick from there, but he's got it.
Yeah, it's just come a little bit unravelled in the last 2 minutes. The kicks aren't going right. Here's the kick in, attempted kick in. He's got the hurry up. And that's a no ball. And look to Thompson. And the left-hand side of the screen, that's a solid grab on the jumper.
Equivalent to just giving away a goal. I mean, it's not up there with the guy who invented the buffet giving away 38 million during the week. As there goes the kick down towards half forward, hangs a long time. Adelaide in front, goes after it again, claimed by McLeod. And the ball up about 35 metres out, but it was very careless. Initially the kick, and then, of course, the interference at the bounce. Ruckman go at it again. Clean ruck work that time. King slapped it down. Goodwin had the run of it. Shirley went across his path. Now Thompson. Massey back to Thompson. Is it left half back? Concedes some more ground. Bassett in the back pocket. Awkward half volley. Marich played it pretty well. Kept his head. Well, they're working in a phone box out there at the moment. Short one comes across towards Henshaw under pressure. Edwards put him in a tight spot. Eventually Milburn goes to Scarlett. Here's a chance for Wojcinski outside the 50. Clever. Kingsley's got it. Open goal beckons. Goes in and gets it.
Just persistence. They just need to keep grinding away at it. Kent Kingsley allowed his man to go to the footy. Well done by Milburn, who forces the turnover. Backs back in. And the little double here. Good vision. And someone who is prone to getting the odd case of the yips. Always good to play on and kick the goal on the run so you don't have to hang over the putt too long. You know what I mean.
16 goals for the season now for Kent Kingsley. 24 seconds to quarter time. Time enough for a takeaway, and Goodwin gets it towards half forward. Big pack waited for it to bounce in right. Handball wide. Bartel under a little pressure, a little fumble, picks up, misses Ling. Ball still alive. Seconds being eaten away. Ling, they need a mark inside 50. The Cats. John Cock goes back and saves the day. And an entertaining opening term is over, and you suspect both teams wouldn't be all that unhappy with their opening quarters work. Adelaide kicking against the breeze, have the lead, but the Cats away from home are still with them. 3-6-24 plays 2-4-16.
Join us on Tuesday night. A man played 246 games with the Saints in every position except the ruck.
He had to be Gary Colling.
Talk about son of a gun, he played fullback for the Cats.
John Gunner Scarlett.
Then join Ron Barassi for some great 1986 moments from the Fox Footy Vault. All part of your legendary Tuesday night lineup right here on Fox Footy.
wife called.
Oh.
She seems nice.
Fun meets functionality with the new Motorola Razr V3X.
Hello, Moto.
With ingenious driver assist technology, an advanced active all-wheel drive system that anticipates when to engage, and 20% more interior space, the all-new RAV4 is bursting with uncompact thinking.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman Returns tumblers are now landing at Hungry Jack's. Purchase any value meal, and then for $2.50, you'll receive a Superman Returns collectible 3D tumbler. Collect all 4 and leap into Hungry Jack's now.
Wednesday on Headliners.
The word that we got that night was that the club was going to merge with Fitzroy.
Footscray's fight for survival.
Leon Weigard was looking for a takeover. Ross Oakley rang. I said, a Footscray shot. He said, yeah, they're rooted.
But would internal unrest upend the doggies' bid to stay alive?
I kept a very, very close rein on Dennis Gallimberti. He wasn't a person that I liked nor trusted. Colin really threw the club into some turmoil.
Part 1 of Footscray's fight for survival. Wednesday, exclusive to Headliners.
Coach and pupil, Trent Henschel, 17 goals in the last month, only bettered by Brendan Favola, who's been in wonderful form. Just getting a little bit more instruction here. Henschel is on an All-Australian fullback also in Matty Scarlett. Let's find out what they said down there. Go down to Jason.
Yeah, Dermot, look, Bomber Thompson pretty happy with Cameron Ling. He's got the job on Simon Goodwin at the moment. He's been able to nullify him so far. Their concerns were with Andrew McLeod running off half-back. Had 9 possessions so far. Had young Matthew Stokes for the latter part of that first quarter, trying to get a more senior player to match up on McLeod now, make him a little bit more accountable, cut out that run from half-back.
You would think that that would be a major concern for them when he came forward with the footy. Just a couple of the stats to look at. The last 10 minutes of that quarter, inside 50s, Geelong 5, Adelaide 3, so they had their share of it. Almost the same amount of kicks, 58-59 handballs. Geelong have had some 7 more, but you just felt they were overusing it, and it gave Adelaide, who was such a good tackling team, the opportunity to dispossess the Cats. They're just reining their game a bit here. The Cats are in with a show.
Adelaide by 8 points. They've got a slight advantage with this breeze in the second term, Adelaide, but they would have to play this side of the ground, the grandstand side, to take advantage of it. From the ball up, King got the kick away, but straight to Stevens. Loads up with a high ball in the direction of Burton, used his hands and took the mark. And it's been paid. He had hands on the back for quite a while, and
you're allowed to do that. You're not allowed to push, but as long as you take up the
2 movements? No.
Yeah, a little bit, but as long as you don't just give it a hard wrap in the middle of the back, you're allowed to take up the slack and give resistance with the open flat palms. The umpires will permit that.
Well, he's a long way out, but I don't think distance will worry him if he starts it well enough. He's gone long, and he's gone all the way.
Have a look at it down the ground here. Well gathered, and they just bring it in. You've got to remember too that Rook has done him a couple of times already in the stand shoulder-to-shoulder aerial duel, so That's turning into a very, very good battle. Personal battle.
Brett Burton playing his 10th game of the season. He's been goalless in only one. That was against the West Coast Eagles in round 2. Best effort 5 against Melbourne, round 3 at Carrara. 23 goals for the season. A vital cog. Edwards gets free. 12th possession. A throw. Don't count it. Strike it from the record. Didn't happen. Corey's got the ball.
Pleading his case now. Well, Bartell's made it into space, and Massey didn't go with him and just wasn't able to dish off to him.
Hunt, the long ball. The breeze does affect it. Look at that one drop. Bassett comes up and takes the mark. Bad news for the fans of the Cats right there. Shown with that kick. Edwards. Another possession then. Massey pushing up the ground. Plenty of run. 3 of them going down the outer side for the Crows. Massey, a high one in. Burton almost. Well done by Rook at the last moment. Knocked it away off the ground by Henschel. A behind. Quick thinking by the young man. And Burton almost the mark. Watch it again. It's there.
Oh, it was a good spoil, wasn't it?
It was terrific thinking.
Secondary movement.
Hunt quickly to Kingsley. Goes to the centre. Good pass as well. Found Bartell. And played on quickly in Milburn. He needs the pass to be accurate. He's heading for Chapman. Matner's with him. Chapman. Matner. He's got him. Forced him to give it away. Holding the ball.
That is a great tackle because Paul Chapman has got one of those body shapes. Now he'll shrug, but he's able to just hang on to the jumper to keep the body close and then wrap him up again. That is a fantastic tackle because, as I say, that body shape is just built for breaking tackles that come in high around the shoulders.
That was Matner's 10th possession to Bassett. Johncock worked it down the wing, but kind of on the wrong side given this breeze. Harley traps it. Doughty with him. Hamble and Milburn's direction. Riley. You've got a big one in the first term. Doughty goes back in. Gives to Burton. Sells the dummy. Plays on. Runs to 50. He's just kicked one. Gets the kick away in time and misses to the near side. Just that pressure was good enough.
Touch. Man, Milburn, important touch just on the rump as he was letting fly with the footy.
Corey plays 2-4.
Oh, 1 and 4.
Yes, and one of the 4 was Burton. How about that? Clean up on aisle 5. Goodwin on the 50, pulls it back towards full forward. Hunt goes after his own spoil, knocks it in front. Over the football, Wojcinski. Corey, interesting disposal, goes again. Bartell, Ling, Corey gets through midfield. Ablett being pursued by Edwards. Clever kick. Stokes has it. That's ambitious. Ablett had to wait. Still gets a chance. Goes inside the 50. It's a goal. Oh, terrific Geelong.
Gary Ablett, 10-12 seconds ago, was standing on defensive 50. Now, that is not...
He's still down too, Doughty.
Oh, jeepers. There's the kick out wide. Now, this... I don't know, it makes him stop a bit, doesn't it? You probably would have liked him to have been in a bit more motion and he would have still been corridor and central and on the fly, but goal nonetheless because of his talent.
Doughty is still down from this clash, and he got pushed into the turf by a couple. He's up. He's been in the hands of trainers for a while.
That could be Adelaide's main danger. Competition for spots in this team.
And he's okay. King slaps it down. There he is. He's okay, Doughty. Gives the handball out. Riley. And he chips it wide to the open side to McLeod, who's got Bode running with him. Sends it long inside 50. Chance for Henschel. Down there, Henschel and Scarlett dumped it down straight to Burton.
He loves
it. He's bent it beautifully. There's that banana. He's got 2.
I know the way you think about him, Dwayne. I look at Brett Burton. I love the brashness which with he goes about his football, but see, like then he's turned side onto the goals on the opposite foot. He, for such an inventive player, he telegraphs a lot of the stuff he's going to do, but he gets away with it.
Just get the feeling that they really like their chances with the long ball.
Yeah.
And they're doing it now. They're bombing it in. And Burton has become a cheap crummer. No real little man down there, but his mobility is good enough. Bartell taken to the ground. Ball up, 16 points the difference.
Well, they've got one little man in terms of height for league football. He's 181 centimetres. His name's Rashudo, but he's hardly a little man.
No. He can take a mark as well. That's the beauty of this forward line at the moment. Biglands is getting a free. And just get the feeling, too, that Geelong are being stretched to stay in touch. Bode goes inside the 50. Fumble from Egan. Being pursued there by McGregor. Egan feeds it back. They're under pressure. Enright gave it to Wojcinski. Kick from Egan across the ground is a good one. Taken by Milburn. Pushing up the ground, Harley. Back to Milburn. That's better from the Cats. Milburn under pressure gets the kick off. Long one. Mooney is the target. He juggles the mark.
I really believe that Mooney... I'm so big on league footy with a certain size, shape and mismatches. Mooney doesn't have a natural matchup from the Adelaide side of things. He's just a bit too aggressive for the second or third backman down there. A little bit too tall and powerful for them once Rutten's taken out of the equation in the goal square.
One of my favourites, Cam Mooney.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I like him ever since he threatened me. The ball goes downwards, full forward, and the mark is held down there by the man in front, Bassett, I think, stolen away by Ottens.
Who would you go for if Bassett went over and picked up Mooney now, Dennis?
Depends on the spin-off. I think there's more chance of Mooney being there at the end of the game, so I'm with him.
More chance of Mooney being on your flight home, Dennis.
Very good point. He's off to Perth tonight. Here's Rutten on the outer side. I'm thinking, Dwayne. Shirley comes back to Rutten, forward of the wing. Gets inside the 50. Bode comes across. Awkward bouncing football. Oh, well played. Made himself invisible. Bode, 35 metres out, tugs it back. That is one of the goals of the season. No. Off hands and through from behind.
Now, Tom Harley in the goal square there is just going to go over and pick up the footy. Now, this is well done, isn't it, by Krusty the Clown? There he is.
Didn't move, really, did he? Stayed in the same spot.
He just
for a moment,
back.
That was going to bend through.
Tom Harley, I know he's puffing and blowing now. He's probably only played about 25 minutes of footy all up. He's looked very comfortable out there for someone who's had a fair layoff out of league footy.
Milburn to Bartell to Wojcinski to Egan, who looks like he's turned it over. He was hoping for Corey. He gets it out. Wojcinski mops up the mess, about to get run down. He has got speed, sends the long bomb. He's hoping for Ottens. Gets a fly at it. Kingsley the crumb, feeds it back. Chapman, a snap away. How will it bounce here? Bounces beautifully. And the Cats get one back.
Ablett, Chapman, that limousine is just clicking into about second gear now. But I tell you what, there is belief up here, though. There is belief in this forward line with the Cats that if they can get enough purposeful ball in there, they're a dead set show here. It's all about whether they can restrict Adelaide going the other way.
Wonderful goal. He's kicked a few this season. 19 goals so far. 4 hauls of 3 says something about his consistency. Gary Ablett Jr. 5'9", 4'4". King and Biglands. Biglands plucks it out of mid-air. Bode put their head down. Edwards slides in, strongly tackled and taken down. We'll have a ball up. Wojcinski applying the tackle. Here's Jason.
Yeah, just in the Geelong forward line, Dennis, you've got Gary Ablett Jr. trying to take Andrew McLeod right back to the goal square.
That's one for the promoters. Main event anywhere, anytime. Edwards dragged off the kick, going after the football. The Crows had the numbers, but worked out of there by Enright. Falling to the ground, Massey. Shirley confronted by Mooney, but not before he slipped it away to Stevens. And Stevens has one bounce, runs up towards the wing, kicks beyond the wing. Doubt he can't get across there in time, and it bounces away from him and goes out of bounds. 39 plays 28. The Cats into the breeze in this term. They trailed by 8 points at quarter time, just under 13 minutes to the major break.
Every time they have gone forward in this second quarter. They've actually gone with a long kick to space or a one out.
And the Cats are leaving the space on that side, the dead pocket, so they're kind of going there, but they're getting goals out of it. Handball threaded through to Goodwin. What a slick ball that was from Bowe, and Goodwin's got the goal. Dead pocket, maybe not.
He is a star, isn't he? And let's have a look how they go about it again. It just happens so easy at the other end. I mean, that ball should be dead by all accounts for probably 12 other teams in the comp. That ball's going to be killed. It's going to be put over the boundary. And just a bit of inexperience then. If they've got the tackle on you, you can just roll over the boundary with it if you've been tackled.
And so we're alternating goals now, the last 5. Backwards and forwards we go. A little bossa nova rhythm to this game. We've got a ball up alongside the centre circles. 45-28.
The Lowry Organ.
The bossa nova probably not being done as much in Brazil this morning as normally it is. After it goes Edwards.
The bookies would be happy this morning.
Yeah. Still Edwards. Feeds it back. Rutten. Right half back. Now McLeod. He's on the wing. Kicks towards the attacking 50. Henschel knocked away by Scarlett. He bounces out towards the boundary.
Ooh. Was he over already?
Must have been. Boundary umpire in perfect position. Straddling the line just meters ahead. Look at that. That's as good as it gets. Boy. Why are you laughing? It's tossed in. Ottens knocks it down. Shirley now Enright, but a lingering tackle will be penalised. And the free kick will go to Simon Goodwin, who by his standards has been pretty quiet this afternoon, averaging well over 30 possessions a game this year.
With this open goal square, oh no, they're going to come down to it.
The 7th possession. Henschel in front. Snaps another goal. The bossa nova is broken.
There you go. It's taken down after he's given it away. Simplistic, isn't it? Unless you can hit somebody lace out as a forward, they are just kicking long on every occasion. And it is simplistic, but what it does do is tells the forwards, we know where it's going. As long as we adhere to the team principles, we won't overcrowd.
First goal of the afternoon for Trent Henschel. 28 goals for the season now. Coming off a 3-goal game against St Kilda. He's been in good form, as the boys were saying. From the palm down, Corey threads a handball in the direction of Witczynski. If it sits for him, he's inside 50. It sits, and the kick's a shocker.
Now look, I mean, he shanked that. He was under pressure, but that boy there, I'm wrapped for him coming back. Earlier in the year when he came back for his first few games after the knee injury, he lacked his usual pace. He started to find it again, and I think this kid, Witczynski, is so valuable for Geelong. It's good to see him get a bit of pace and a bit of the footy back.
McLeod to Edwards to John Cock. 51 plays 28, 23-point margin, biggest of the game so far. Thompson, and now Matner to the open side, the attacking wing. Over the top to McLeod. He can go all the way if he wants to. Sends it towards the goal square. High ball. Burton's down there. Great mark by Scarlett.
Can't team play on from a mark.
Landed hard to watch this landing.
Oh, yeah.
He bounced.
Just put the elbow down. I reckon that'll rattle up through the shoulder joint.
Hunt goes short to Tenace.
It's like a little bit like a snowboarder's injury, Dennis. You hit hard on the elbows and it hurts the shoulders.
I'll take your word for it, Ted. Lee's got it, left half back. Something I haven't tried. I look forward to it.
I'll take out to the rail park.
A bit early yet. In my dotage, I see that. There's the ball around the outer... few weeks. Around the outer side. Coming through strongly to Nace. That one forward. He was taken high. Advantages paid. Enright goes to Kingsley. Can he beat the tackle? Oh, wonderful by Edwards. Wonderful.
Well, he had Kelly ahead. He'll come into shot any second now. You might even see him here in the top of screen. And he was all clear to run into an open goal.
Bassett around the outer side. Not an easy tackle to stick that, by the same token, in fairness to Kingsley, with so much space to either side, and the man in front stopped. Henschel, been dangerous, feeds it back. Massey, a little centering kick. The mark is taken by Porplecia. Now, he's no relation to the guy that played with you, Dwayne.
No, he's not Andy Porplecia's relation. Spelled a little differently as well.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go. All right, then.
Pronounced the same.
I was going to say, how many Porplecias are there in Australia?
I said the same thing to him earlier today.
I might have spelled it incorrectly on his birth cert some years ago, and he stuck with it.
Not down the port.
Well, not down the port. They can't. Oh, no,
Porplecia comes in and puts it right over the umpire's hat. The Crows have booted the last 3 goals.
Good. I know that he's kicked the second last goal there, Trent Henschel, but he's having a good game, Matty Scarlett. Nice little touch, chip kick. And that is a beautifully weighted kick to a little drop zone there that he allows Porplecia to run into. Well, they spelt my name wrong on the birth cert, and I kept it. Double T. Yeah? Yeah.
Just the 4th game for Jason Porplecia, his 2nd chance with the Crows. He was on their rookie list back in 2003. 21-year-old now. In West Adelaide, the Blood and Tars, and Corns' school, Sacred Heart College. He's looking okay. To Nace, to Ling, to Kingsley. Stokes back into the corridor to Wachinski.
And there's a lot of space out this side for a lead.
Pokes it. Oh, Ottens, it took off, but he slipped. Chapman, Ling from 50, pops it up towards the goal square. Kingsley's down there with Mooney. One grab at it, McLeod. Kingsley. McLeod keeps his feet. Ball not down to Matner. Through traffic magnificently.
He's good.
Gave the hammer to Marriage. John Cobb. The run out of defence there, Forte. And Porplecia's got it on the wing.
But they don't overuse it, do they, Dwayne? When they come out, it's just a little give to somebody with pace. It backs themselves. They put themselves in the space. A good run down there.
Edwards gave it a good one. McGregor involved earlier. The hand pass comes out wide. Massey. Darty trying to force a passage. Goes to ground. Stolen away by Gary Ablett. Short one to Harley. Harley at left half back. Just pops it up towards the wing. Stokes takes the mark. We'll pick the Cats need the next goal for their own well-being. There's Chapman.
You see Gary Ablett's getting so much of the footy up in the middle of the ground because as good as he is trying to take McLeod away, wait on Ottens here.
Almost the mark.
As good as he is, that he still will run off McLeod and he's obligated to follow him. You're probably better off going now with the professionalism of Milburn just to sacrifice his game on McLeod.
Henschel gave it back to Bassett. This is Riley. The short one is on. Porplecia again. Whoa, that was a good mark. They hit him hard, and the ball did not come out.
Having said that, the body that comes out and just gives him the buffer, and he does get contact from him. If you want to be protected by... Oh, well, there you go, Hunt come around the side. But if you wanted to be protected by somebody, seeing Rashudo come up behind you as a friendly person, you'd feel fairly confident that he was going to steer the opponent away from you.
Porplecia has taken 3 marks. This kick from 40 metres out.
Amazing form.
Gun barrel straight. His second.
How many games has the boy got up now, Porplecia?
This is his 4th, Dan.
4th game? Remember your 4th game? Your 5th game, your 2nd game? If you have a little run like this, I guarantee you the Porplecia household will have a DVD of the 2nd quarter of round 13. And he'll be watching it over and over. And good on the kid.
Adelaide's kicked 6 of the last 8 goals. The margin up to 35 points now. Biggest lead of the game. Geelong were facing this scenario as well in the night grand final, which they came back to win. I've said it before here. Goodwin from the takeaway. inside 50, and the mark's been played to Egan.
He blindsided the umpire. Would have seen the initial grab with the hands, but not the release.
Enright chips the kick to the midfield to Rook. Steering past Mooney. Nice build-up.
Here's the big cat, the big hairy cat.
Inside 50, that kick not so good. It's a bouncing bomb. John Cox got it. Mattner, here we go. Mattner from half-back. Looks up, tries to get the pass away in Henschel's direction. He's got about 4 to beat here, and that means there's a loose man at half-forward. It's Porplesia. He can centre it to Rashudo. He does. The Roo's got it. 40 out, spins it around and hits the post.
Hang on. What's happening here? 50 metres. I didn't see what happened because I took my eyes back to Rashudo. So did the ball come down to...
I'd say time wasting.
Bode, and what did he do? Soccer it away or something like that. So that's a 50 metres, which, given the 10 on the goal square, you go to the edge of the backside of the edge of the centre square. Yep, there he goes. Just sucks it. That's a good decision, umpire.
He was just thinking it was still pre-season. Punt.
That's a goal.
Well, that's what happens when you confuse the rules. Players sort of get caught in a time warp. Around the outer side wing, Ling.
Now, Mooney's one out, and he's troubled his opponent. Oh, he won't trouble him with that, but hang on.
I'll do this.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
If you want a demarcation dispute, Stokes has taken the mark in the pocket. Bartel didn't seem to quite middle this one. He's looking towards the middle, and it comes to the pocket. He held his breath, and Stokes held the mark. This is a very difficult kick, but if he runs around, he's some hope. Well, not his best effort. It went through at about head height. Impressive young man, though.
And I meant to say that bit.
What was that?
Impressive young man.
Yeah, I liked his games the last few weeks watching the tape.
We'll share.
Pick 61 in last summer's draft. Wearing Brenton Sanderson's old 27. Mattner. What a pass from Mattner to Massey. Released him beautifully. He can run all the way towards attacking 50. Long to the goal square. Henschel and McGregor. They almost spoiled each other. Campbell from Bode. Rashudo. Back towards Bode. There's too many down there. Porplesia pushing the back. Ignored. Bode picks it up and kicks a goal.
No. There was an Irish whip. There was an Irish whip on Scarlett, surely.
There was, and I tell you what, he has spent so... Oh, look, he's got a handful of jumper there. That's a free kick. The umpire said he got 2 hands to it, and that being Henschel he was referring to as the umpire. And that's why there was no free kick. He had eyes on the footy, but he did. He got a handful of jumper and slung him out. They've been stiffed a bit there, the Cats.
Well, I was shouting, no, 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 because of an Irish whip on that man. What's this again?
The jumper stretch on Scarlett.
Now, he dressed it up a bit, but he certainly...
He copped it.
Yeah, he was held by the jumper and thrown back towards the post. Bounce back in the middle. This game is fast getting away from the Cats, who strangely are playing reasonable football, but this is irresistible stuff by their opposition. Riley got it from Goodwin for Fleischer.
The boy's having a blinder here.
He is. I think Milburn may have been switched onto him now. Not sure. There goes the kick down towards the pocket. Hunt comes up, able to knock it away from Henschel. Wants it to go out of bounds. Little sleight of hand eventually across to Chapman. 70 plays 29. It's happened very quickly. King to Nace. Runs himself into trouble. Back to King. King kicks it around the outer side. Being held out there was Joel Corey. And he'll get the free kick.
Now he's got Mooney ahead. Now use a running play if you need to, but go to Mooney, 1 out, at 50 down the line.
I can hear a Bomber circling. It'll be Bomber Thompson circling at half-time for the Cats. Mooney. Handball missed the target again. And the wraparound tackle by Stokes is illegal, according to the umpire. Free kick to Mattner.
What is that noise?
That's sort of low-flying aircraft, surely.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Jace, look up. What is it?
It's all that.
It's a plane.
Is it? Or is it Stephen Kernahan clearing his throat? Riley. Half-back flank.
The plane.
Chips the kick. Marriage. Collects it. McLeod. Now Bassett. They're just messing with Geelong at the moment. Pokes it wide.
Oh, look at the wave coming forward. Now, this boy has been devastating, Matner.
That was possession 16 from Matner. Spearing pass. Off hands, Egan. Martell. Scarlett. Loops it over the top to Enright. And he's got Harley free if he can hit him. And he does.
Harley's right out back. 2:30 remaining in this half. And Geelong need to go away and regroup. Wrighton with strength. Split a pair of ablets. The kick inside the 50. Beautifully delivered to guess who? Poor Pleasure. He looks towards the middle. Nobody near down. He has slipped as he went, so he didn't go, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, Ben Rutten hardly hit the ground running in league footy. It took a while to come on as well, but that was the difference there between Nathan Ablett and Ben Rutten. The power he had to actually run straight at the footy and just take the body with him and just leave them in his wake. Ablett has to develop that as the spray across the face.
Down to his 10th possession of the term, not his best. Oh, there you go.
Ah, no wonder it's advertising. Yes, we won't do that. We won't give them any freebies.
Our best defence is that Brett Burton will knock it down.
Not unless we get something out of it, Dwayne.
Bartell. I'm not too sure what they're advertising, Derm. We might not want it. Bartell. Toe pokes it towards the boundary line. They advertise all sorts of things nowadays, Derm.
Yeah.
Collects it. Back to King. Now Tenace. The Cats need a late one. Tenace runs to attacking 50. Tough kick from there. Goal square. Rutten and Kingsley off hands. Kingsley lays the tackle and it was illegal. And it'll be an Adelaide Crow free kick to Rutten at full-back.
Ben Rutten, another one. Well, I know we used him topically a second ago, but he is another one of those full-backs who's become an exceptional full-back, you know, verging on the absolute elite status, who started as a forward. All the good full-backs in history started as forwards.
In history?
Just about. You try and name one of the champs who wasn't.
Poor Pleasure's got it. Goes in short. Rashudo comes up on the lead and takes the mark. 55 metres out. Long bomb inside the 50. McGregor! Good hands. I don't think the Cats like playing under low-flying aircraft. There's got to be a health and safety issue here. I'm getting a headache. Dwayne, can you do something? This is your town. Just get him on the phone. It's the noisiest plane since the Wright brothers.
Well, it's part of the plan for the advertising, Dennis.
Attracts your attention.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody's looking up. Well, the Cats are, that's for sure.
I don't expect or look forward to many planes falling down, but this one I'm prepared to make an exception on.
Yeah, the banner out the back's making it perilously slow.
Yeah, it's labouring. A bit like the Cats. In comes McGregor, and he's missed. So they're let off the hook.
43 points. There is some work ahead in that box there. But as we saw in the NAB Cup earlier this year, they were behind and they did chase and they did run down.
They were behind as much as about 14 points early in the last quarter, the Cats. They mounted a great comeback that night, so hopefully there's still some to come.
Here at half-time on Sunday football, it is the Adelaide Crows, dominant 10-12-72. Geelong 4-5-29.
Monday, a massive 2 hours of live footy talk kicks off with White Line Fever at 7:30. Then James Clement, aiming for his third consecutive best and fairest and All-Australian honours while leading the Magpies to a top 4 finish, is on the couch. 7:30, White Line Fever, 8:30 on the couch, live and exclusive Monday on Fox Footy.
That's it, Trev. I've had enough. I've been stuck like this for 6 weeks since the car wash accident, and I still haven't heard boo from my insurance company. 6 weeks, Trev. Pass me the phone. I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. Thank you. Very funny, Trevor.
to line it up. Wants to go around Parker. Fends off the veteran. Lights up the Jets and kicks a goal.
Get it hot and get it now at Harvey Norman. Sensational value. There's no excuse not to be capturing home movie memories with this Samsung Mini DV digital camcorder. Now a hot $395. Zoom in on this hot price JVC digital video camera with widescreen recording and night scope feature. Just $499. Get CCD image clarity with this great Canon model. Extra large LCD screen included. Hot price only $509. Check the catalogue out now from your electrical specialist, Harvey Norman.
It's 1970 Blues versus Pies. Alex Jezelenko. Alex Jezelenko! Jezzy, you stand here. I'll be Mackay. Dave, you can be Jurgen Jenkins. Little bit of leverage for Jezelenko. You'll be okay. Takes it to the wing position. Oh, Jezelenko! You'll be okay! Yeah!
Oi.
Yes! Nice grab.
Thursday on Fox League Teams. Join footy's esteemed panel of all-stars for the latest team lineups and brutally honest football analysis.
Now he's just turned to play his own game and doesn't care about his opponent anymore.
It's not that hard to go one-on-one.
No one's listening. They're listening.
Fox League Teams, live Thursday on Fox Footy Channel.
We're here at Amy Stadium, and it is the Crows, the home team, by 43 points as they take on the Cats. A beautiful Sunday afternoon, Sunday football, and that means Jason McCartney is down on the boundary.
Yeah, Dermot, look, interesting. Listen to your interview with Ben Hart talking about the sports science approach with the Crows training. There's another one they use. It's a decision-making simulator. Damien Farrow from the Institute of Sport. What they can do, they actually simulate and project onto the wall indoors, so there's no physical taxing effort on the players. They put the player in the picture then, and they simulate game trends through the video, and the player has to then make the decision. So they can do repetition 50, 60 times, no stress on the body, and it's certainly proving to be worthwhile. They're really extremely good with the decisions they make on the field, and we're seeing it today. They're not afraid to go long, and they're really punishing this Geelong side.
Well, it is. It's a wonderful teaching tool, isn't it? They talk about experience out on the ground, and certain situations only unfold, once a fortnight or so. So it takes a few years to experience every situation. And then if you've got it up on the wall, Jace, you go through it 20 times in 2 weeks, it's already in there rehearsed.
Certainly, they're right on top of it here. They leave no stone unturned, and look, they're setting the trend for all other AFL clubs, Dermot.
So they've taken it back. Their club rooms here 10 years ago were state-of-the-art, and they've always remained at the high end of the facilities on offer for league footballers. But then Brisbane came along and they rejuvenated their fit-out. Now Adelaide seem to have jumped up again, and they've poured a lot more money into their footballing department in the last 12 months.
Money is no problem.
None.
Over 50,000 members, if you don't mind. Video games, if they're the criteria, Derm, my son will win a Brownlow. He's got a late start, but he's a big chance.
My daughter will go all right.
Some budding players out there. Talking about those images on the wall, it used to be what? Rabbit's ears when we were kids.
No, it was, what did they call it? The little blip tennis. That's all we had.
What was that called?
Pong. Pong, that was it. Now you get whole footy fields.
No, I'm doing special comment.
Oncoming players. And
anyway, this game's not over.
No.
Who said that? 10, 12 to 4-5.
There he is, Moons. There's a couple of your favourites there now, Dennis. I'm going to labour this one. I am going to take you down and introduce you to Cam Mooney face to face, just to see the fear in your eyes.
You don't think there'll be any in his? Start of the second half. Sunday football. Can the Cats get back? Goodwin out of the middle. High ball floats towards half forward. Henschel did well to get it on the ground. This is Tenace breaking away from half back. Kicks a very high one. An awkward looking kick and just floating. He hung in the air like Michael Jordan.
Didn't he? That's a wonderful sign for Andy McLeod. We've seen him take a few big grabs over the last month or so. He's always had that bone-on-bone knee problem, but just to be able to float like that with leap shows that he's not feeling it at all at the moment.
Well, he didn't get the mark. Matner came up with a football. Did they play a free kick, or was it Matner's mark in front? Doesn't matter. Chapman gets a hand pass away. Milburn. Chapman sold into trouble. Steps out of trouble. Kicks inside the 50. Mooney almost goes after it.
Oh.
Could have been taken high. Still the arm around the shoulder, and he's going to get the free kick.
This is going to be a tough kick for Moons. I thought it was an in the back. Actually, he falls on him a bit hard here. There, the arm is over there. This is a tough kick for Moons.
Yep.
Oh, Moons!
It wasn't that bad, There was a push in the back, and I think Kingsley might get a free kick, will he? No, it's going the other way for a throw against Kingsley.
Ben, I think I'll be cut a little bit more slack by Moons if I criticise him than your good self. Just for some strange reason. I've given him the odd free drink.
Okay. Stevens in the back pocket. Mooney will go back rather gingerly about now when the cameras have moved away and repair that divot. Here's Massey, right half back.
Pokes the ball to Bassett, and Mooney trails behind a little. Chip kick, and it's cut off. Doughty dives in, tries to flick it up to Riley. Handball back to Bassett, now to Edwards. Sends a long ball. Biglands is down there. Henschel with the fly as well. Neither could bring it down. Doughty kept it alive. Shirley, Goodwin. Doughty again. Caught, good tackle by Corey. And we'll get a ball up on the wing. 72 plays, 29. The Cats are kicking with a slight breeze in this third term. They need to do a fair bit with it to get themselves back into the contest. Shirley, Edwards. Pops it up towards Rutten. Midfield takes the nice mark. Ablett hasn't had a good afternoon of the Nathan variety. He's only touched it once for the game so far, Nathan Ablett. Short pass to Shirley. He's held up. Now to John Cock, who can run all the way to 50. Sends it towards Burton, and he leaves it. Burton for McGregor.
All the Geelong blokes going back to the goal.
Well, they guessed that the Adelaide Crows would simply blaze away, but they're a bit cleverer than that.
It's a good vision.
Well, from outside 50 against the breeze, is he going to reach the square? I doubt it.
Cam McGregor having a good season. 2-1 last game against the Saints. Coming off a 31-goal season last year. And he misses to the near side.
Just on that kick, though, I suppose we've all been in teams which at some stage have been lacking confidence and they play for self-survival, and we've all been in teams that have been on top of the world and they play for each other. And when that happens, you find that there's this situation bred within the team that it's almost like who can outdo the last action of unselfishness in team play and self-sacrifice. And that's the type of action that they have going for them now, Adelaide. They just want to share the ball around. It's all about who can do the most for the team.
Burton, strong mark.
Where does that Cam Mooney kick fit into that philosophy, Derm?
Yeah, well, Cam's was just an execution error.
He was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Shirley inside the 50, lines up from deep in the boundary.
And if we keep talking about it, one of those words will come back to haunt us. Execution.
Would Bassett tell him about that, do you think?
I think, Nathan, it'd probably be a bit smarter than that.
I think so, too. That's why I admire him so much. You wouldn't chirp about it, would you, when the ball's down the other end? I noticed your last kick.
No, just like Blazing Saddles when they talk about Mongo. Don't shoot him, you'll only make him angry.
Joel Corey out of the back pocket then on the angle. Milburn as the Cats try and work it forward. Ling. And now Wojcinski running up towards the wing. Good kick. Chapman's out in front. Takes the mark. 75 metres from goal. Players leading back. Now they come forward. Mooney has to wait. Going over the top, Stevens. Mooney leads back on the angle. Doughty left the ball behind. Mooney's outnumbered. Taken down. Strength. Got boot to ball. That trickles across the boundary line. It will be thrown in.
That was a much better kick. Forward pocket for the Cats.
He's coming back off the ruck hit here, Moons. You should charge through. He's He's stuffed, he can't run.
Biglands to Downey. Biglands, John Cock.
The can.
Yeah. Chip kick, good. Henschel. Goodwin just missed the target there, and he doesn't usually miss the target, Goodwin. Gets another opportunity. Massey's still down. Goodwin finally threads the handball through, and Mattner's got it. Half-back flank. Pops it towards Burton, takes the mark.
And he goes on here, Matt. Now, if the space opens up, is a show to receive. No, he pulls out of it now, leaves the space for McGregor.
Bounces in front of McGregor, bounces kindly for Scarlett. Chapman, Tenace.
Oh.
Good effort. Enright picks it off, gives it to Wachinski. He can run the midfield and go long towards Kingsley. It was a good pass. The trouble is, Bassett read it just as well as anybody and took the mark.
Just as he kicked it, you saw he had two supporting players running next to him. He could have dished it. They could have run it to the square, edge of the square, and kicked from 55 with the breeze.
Goodwin finds Riley. Riley took a heavy knock at the start of the game. Came off in the first couple of minutes. Goes down towards the pocket. McGregor did well. Clear the path for himself to go back. Good passing him was Scarlett. Down goes McGregor. Pushed in the back. It's against Corey.
That was well done by Scarlett. Great niggling, nagging, just clawing away at him on the run. That's consistent umpiring, though. Mooney got one down the other end similar to that.
Short one towards the middle. Awkward half volley, but well taken by Milburn in defence. Now King to Chapman. But bear in mind the Cats have got the breeze, and it's down the wrong end, and has been for the best part of this term. Here's Harley pushing up from the back pocket.
He played 8 goalless minutes so far in this third term. Ball chip wide to Ling, and goalless minutes is a win for Adelaide.
Adelaide have decided with this buffer, Neil Craig has just gone, right, let's go man on man. We can practice a style of footy that could be beneficial to know later in the year. They are just going to man on man like a basketball press here.
Free kick to Corey Enright.
And so there's no free targets anywhere.
Sends a long ball in the direction of Stokes. Bouncing ball, Stokes and Goodwin get there at the same time. McLeod shrugs the tackle. John Cock, a little slip, caught by Ablett Mattner. And they can set it up again. Goodwin, half-back flank. That's how much time he's got. He just lopes. Sends the ball in Doughty's direction. He's got it, and he's away. Into space. The leads come. One from Rashudo. It's in his direction. He was held. Umpire said play on. Caught by Hunt.
Oh, no.
And holding the ball against Rashudo. Free kick to Geelong. You can do that when the scoreboard says 74-29.
He's brave, that boy. Right in the middle of Adelaide supporters.
We've seen that paid this year too, haven't we?
Yeah.
An arm around, and there was a bit of weight on the arm. Sometimes it's the arm being enough to warrant the kick. There's Joel Corey. Got it from Enright. He's at half back. 74 plays 29.
Oh, he's overcooked that.
From behind, Edwards. Awkward one. Rook did well to come back. Got it on the ground, but he's out number 3 against 1. Well done, Jared Rook. Yes, indeed. Edwards, though, eventually tidies up. Back to John Cock. Spots Rutten. Another good shepherd from Edwards there. Rutten bought some time. Goes back to Bassett. Across the ground. Making it look okay. McLeod with pace. Got to it quickly. Biglands. On the outer side, Stevens is free. He'll go there now. Stevens can carry the ball about 5 metres. Kicks in short. Downey once more. Very adept. Coming across on the angle. Back to Bassett. The mark is taken by Rashudo.
Just methodical, wasn't it? There is a legitimate one-on-one everywhere over this ground right now. I reckon Neil Craig's come in at halftime. He said, all right, we've got a buffer. We know we can play this team. Let's practice for the second half of the year. Let's go with a man-on-man, completely everywhere. Beat your opponent.
Is Hunt the man on the mark there? Because that mark, watching the replay, was about 5 metres in from the 50. He's got almost another 10. This is very important, kicking to this end. Rashudo kicks the goal. I'd like to see see this again, do?
Yeah, with the big Roo there on screen. If you have a look at this, Joshua Hunt actually remonstrates with the umpire after Roo kicks the goal. And I reckon he's arguing the point about where the mark is also. 1, 2, 3, 3.5 paces from the mark to the 50 line. And he's a good 5. He's a good 5 back from the 50 line on the mark.
2 goals now for Mark Rasciuto for the afternoon in game 297. 300th on the horizon, and won't that be a big occasion for Crow fans. Ling. Joel Corey through traffic, sends it long. McLeod and Chapman. Chapman and McLeod. Good battle. Both got hands to it. Chapman corralled beautifully all the way back to Ling. He hasn't had a good afternoon, and that handball sums it up. Corey gives it back to Ling. Tenace about to get caught. Just got the kick away in time. Kingsley fumbled the attempt at mark. Rutten, Mattner, Goodwin. It's like a replay of about 19 other occasions when they ran it through their defence in this style. Not so this time because Ottens has cut it off. Scarlett chips it wide. Stokes, and he's held up.
Looping hand pass over the top. Wojcinski. Stokes. Now Milburn runs inside the 50. Can he? No, he can't. Misses to the near side. Their last goal came in the second term at the 9-minute mark. That was Chapman.
A little snap over the shoulder.
John Cock comes back to bring it in. Just over 10 minutes remaining in this term, and the margin now out to 50. It was 43 at half-time. The breeze still pretty fresh. Going into it.
Caught between 2, goes to the kicker.
Stevens over the top to Biglands. Riley wants it in short. He plays it further down the line, though. Awkward bounce there for Edwards. Coming up is Harley. Good tackle by Burton. Joel Corey sold into trouble, lacking support. Penalised for a throw. Riley wasting no time. Onto the chest of McGregor. And they're putting on a clinic at the present time, the Adelaide Crows. I don't think there's any doubt they're the best team in the competition right now. Goes across. Burton takes the mark 40 metres out.
And look, they're getting smacked up here, the Cats. But if you're a Cat supporter, don't just say we're going bad, we're hopeless, whatever. They're actually having a go. They're not laying down here. The Adelaide Crows are on fire. They're up and running. They are the fittest team in the comp, and everything they're doing at the moment is well rehearsed. It's gelling together under pressure, and they are going to beat 15 other teams on this given day.
Burton from 45 hits it hard, but he's offline. Through for a behind, extending the lead to 51 points.
Good to see him back. Didn't play in the last game against the Saints, Brett Burton. 81 plays 30. The kick in from fullback. Good one to Hunt. He's held up by Henschel. And the Crows are forming a wall. They know he's a long kick of the ball, so they're only offering him a short one back to Scarlett. And that's the option they offered him and almost wanted him to go to.
Well, you know, Scarlett, 9 out of 10 kicks, he'll always chip short.
Chips short to Wojcinski, who normally does play on when he's got confidence and does play on from half back here. Runs past Henschel.
Good kick.
Chip kick is good. Egan takes the mark. Corey corralled again. Threads it through beautifully to Egan. Goes long. Kelly's inside 50. Mattner's with him. Kelly collects it nicely.
That's the first time today the ball's come to Marty Mattner's zone, and he hasn't ended up with the footy. It's the first win that Geelong have had against him.
Watch the possessions for Kelly.
I won't need 2 hands, I wouldn't think.
Possession number 7.
Oh, just sneaked onto the second. There you go. Well, he's the one the Cats really needed. You talk about players jumping to the next level. Come back.
With the breeze, touched on the line or a goal. 6-pointer.
Well, one against the tide. Now, it's a well-worn phrase in league football, taking, you know, the next step, going to the next level. But this boy here, James Kelly, is the Geelong midfielder who this really pertains to. He is the one that has the pace and the ability and that silky movement that they really require right in the middle.
I remember seeing him play against the West Coast Eagles a few years back now at Shell Stadium. He was fantastic that day, Kelly, but really, since then, outstanding performances few and far between.
As we saw, he went to ground then. I didn't know of it. I don't know of it, but you saw his lower back very heavily strapped and taped up. Whether he is carrying an ailment, backs don't tend to go away if there's an injury there all that quick, and they are restrictive to your mobility and your pace.
Joel Corey is fighting hard this afternoon. Bigland's taken down. Have a ball up as we go down to Jason.
Yeah, Dennis, Jason Paul-Pleaser, who is very prominent in that second quarter with a couple of goals, has not re-emerged since half-time. Ice back on the left hip.
Very good in that second quarter. Hopefully he's okay. Free kick to the Cats, and it will go to Joel Corey. And a lot of the football this afternoon. And a lot of the football this season.
There's Paul-Pleaser. And he's a Port boy, Dino.
No, West Adelaide.
West Adelaide, okay.
Here's Rutten.
Westy.
Goodwin. Edwards. Forward of half-back. Plays on immediately. Massey.
Great run.
Doughty and now Tawney. Tawney runs beyond the wing. Looks inside the forward 50. Sets it up. McGregor couldn't get there. Almost a mark to Egan. Just finishing the ball away as Burton lines up and kicks his third.
They will. They almost stopped the Cats because of that unrewarded mark. I think it was Matty Scarlett, if we have a look at this, and this was just wonderful support running to the outside the centre square. Right, yeah, Egan it was. There's 3 on 4 there. 4 Crows, 3 Geelong players. And they're always going to win that. And Brett Burton could have given a handball away, but had the blinkers on.
3 goals, 3 now for Brett Burton. 14 possessions this afternoon. He might be in line for votes, but Brownlow votes, of course, wasted on him, given he was suspended earlier this season. Goodwin.
Gee.
Ling.
Talk about demarcation, Dennis. Dino's already doing my votes as well.
Well, just giving you options, Derm. Just opening up the spectrum for you.
Average, look at that. 82 points is their average winning margin.
Enright, who had 30 possessions and was virtually best on ground, or one of the best on ground in the Cats' night grand final victory here earlier this season, which looks light years away now. Wachinski, Chapman, Bartel, free kick behind play, and
yeah, he got the handball away and he was still taking the ground.
Wachinski hugs the boundary line with a kick. It was a beauty. And Chapman didn't have to break stride. You see the tackle lingered just a moment too long. Chapman. 87 plays 36. A true indication of how this game has been played.
Oh,
and Chapman, well, yeah, just played on close to the boundary. Had to kick in haste, and the ball is fisted out of bounds. And he's a little frustrated by all of that. Wanted something to kick to. Nothing really was offered.
Tyson Edwards, the top possession winner on the ground. Another blinder today. Goodwin up to 18.
Chapman off the ground, only as far as Doughty has been very good. John Cock, Massey.
Watch the support run come out now.
Bassett. A little chip pass inside the centre square. Oh, clever mark taken by McGregor. Plays on back to Bassett. Bassett lays it up ahead of McGregor. Coming across for a shootout. I'm not sure that was the intention. I don't think Bassett saw Rashudo. I think he was looking to lay it in front of McGregor, or rather McLeod, who was running back.
Oh, he'd be claiming it by now, I'd say, Dan. Now, probably an extra metre from where he kicked some 10 minutes ago, Mark Rashudo, but he did clear the line by about 4 or 5 metres. So he is not without a show here.
No. Watching on the replay before, Hunt got a very bad call as to where the mark was. That's a pretty good kick, but fell a couple of metres short in terms of where the last one landed, but it's still a goal. His third.
That kicking action, I mean, it's not absolutely pure, but it was just sweet. It came off the boot magnificently, and a drop pump that spins slowly will get good distance and good hang time. You read that? Good mark, and it's just a sweet hit. Good slow spinner. Love those ones. Good kick.
3-goal afternoon so far for Mark Rasciuto, 33 for the season. And we're seeing the premiership favourites in full flight at the moment against a team that is in big danger of having their season over, their finals chances at least, with a number of rounds to go. Ling, stolen by Edwards, sends it inside 50, front spot, Egan takes the mark. Got Tenace one side if he wants him, just hands it off to the running Milburn. Spearing pass, hoping for King, gets him. About to get caught by Doughty, kicks toward the wing. Ablett read it beautifully. Back to Ling. And now the chip kick from him in Kelly's direction, takes the mark. Too far out to score from the attacking side, given this breeze is going from left to right as you see it.
Kick it to Moons.
Mooney just says send it long. Kick it goal square. Up flies Ottens. He too hasn't had a big afternoon. Crow's getting numbers back. Thompson, big time bump. Got the handball out. Quick fire. Marich to Matner. Doughty. Riley. Massey. John Cock. Bode. All 18 might get a touch here.
Well, great running. Wonderful support running. It'll end up with Root.
Henschel and Rasciuto couldn't complete the mark. Ball still alive. Egan cuts it off, dishes it out, and they'll get away with it. Callan to Hunt to King.
Great spoil moments ago by Hunt to get a fist in there. It seemed destined to find the chest of Rasciuto. Here's Tenace around the outer side. 93-36. Just over 2.5 minutes till three-quarter time. Penetrating kick. Bassett.
Look, their last two entrances inside 50, that kick by Tenace and also the Kelly set shot. I'd have to say there wasn't a great degree of science about the way they thought about that kick, their kicks going in. They are just throwing it up and hoping the forward can be good enough to beat more than their direct opponent.
Bassett 9 marks this afternoon as John Cock finds Doughty. Nobody's standing the mark.
Leaving the flank open right down the line here, so somebody will sprint to the wing to receive a pass. Goes inboard. They'll do the same again though. They'll leave the wings open.
John Cock's got it just outside the defensive 50.
There you go, and there's the sprint out to the wing. So what they do, they congregate inside the centre square from that type of static kick, and then they'll leave someone with pace will be the sprinting player out to the wing to receive the short pass, and then they reload and start again.
That plane's back. McLeod.
It's refueled.
Gets the boundary.
It's here for a while.
High one. Over the top comes Enright. Missed it. Bode. Doughty, who's been very good, grabs it. Thinks about going back to the middle and does. Riley to Bode. Goes inside the 50. Lines up. And kicks it behind. Charging down the ground. Scarlett to bring it back in. Was Scarlett just continuing our conversation? In fact, it's Milburn who gets it from Scarlett. Was Scarlett ever a forward?
As a kid, he was played around the ground a bit.
You told me to find one, eh?
Most of them,
I might have found one.
I did say all. I would like to revise it to a very, very high percentage of the great fullbacks.
And what about his dad, John Scarlett, who was a terrific fullback at Geelong? Remember him?
Oh, look, I'll take the punt and say he started as a forward.
Here's King. Interesting story. He was actually leased to South Melbourne in the early 70s.
Oh, the old days when you could do that.
Well, I think they changed the rules because of it. Biglands has got the ball, plays on. He's 20 metres out, runs in and kicks a goal.
Playing on from there when you've just beaten your direct opponent in a one-on-one. There's a fair bit of insult attached to that, but if you can do it, get away with it. You get closer to goal, cut down the degree for the margin of error. They are as confident a team as I have seen going around at any stage of any season.
Back to my victory with the Scarlets, Durham. Just talking about John. I mean, he was leased to South Melbourne because they were going to make the finals and Geelong weren't. So I think they may have changed the rules as a result of that. Matthew, another defender in his father's footsteps. He was just rented like a copy of the ladies' man.
I don't think they're allowed to do anything but defend the Scarlets, because Dad played 183 games at fullback for the Cats, and they run a security business, Scarlet Security, in Geelong. So defending's their business.
That's very good.
Short,
You made that up.
No, it's true.
As Robert De Niro said, you are very good.
Thompson rolls it towards goal, and it's offline, only behind. Johnny Scarlett will be happy with the plug.
I'm willing to back that Johnny Scarlett played his first game in the forward line, though.
101 to 36. That brings us back to reality.
All right, maybe not every fullback,
okay.
but
all right.
very much a trend.
There's King. Did Bassett? There's the kick up towards the wing. There's the siren, three-quarter time.
Gee, you've got him in some good company.
I've got you in straight sets on this very ground. Three-quarter time. At AAMI Stadium in Adelaide, putting on a clinic at the moment. They'll finish on the breeze. 14-17, 101. Geelong 5-6-36.
Siren, and he has to kick it for the Cats to win. The fate of the match riding on Peter Ricard. It leads the beat. It's swinging back.
Classic Quarters, Monday on Fox Footy Channel.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman Returns tumblers are now landing at Hungry Jack's. Purchase any value meal, and then for $2.50, you'll receive a Superman Returns collectible 3D tumbler. Collect all four and leap into Hungry Jack's now.
So if a customer comes up to me and says, you know, I saw this in another place for $20 cheaper, what are you going to do about it? I ring up that place, find out about the product, exactly the same, no questions asked. Give them this price cheap, that's what we do.
4-outlet power board, $19.92. Aluminium step ladder, $79. Polytray wheelbarrow, $49.94. 10-kilo briquette heating fuel, $5.98. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
That's what we say we'll do, of course we'll do it.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Trev, I think I'm going to change my home insurance.
Why don't you call the RAA?
Yeah, maybe I will, when my car breaks down. I'm talking about home insurance, Trev. Home insurance, as in home, sweet home, you know? Oh, give me a home where the buffaloes roam. There's no place like home, exactly. Trust me, Trev, I know insurance.
Okay, team, if you want to win, listen up. To be the star of the next J-Sport TV ad, you have to buy the mag and enter the competition. You'll also get a free footy DVD. Okay, so who's up for selection?
J-Squad, out now. Last week on The Gospel...
We now know the name of the show. It's called The Steph Show. And what if Stephanie comes in and says, I'd just like you to be involved?
Well, I'd have one question for her.
What would that be?
How much?
Oh! That's The Gospel on Fox Footy Channel.
Welcome back to AAMI Stadium, where it's three-quarter time, and the story so far was a tough opening. Brett Burton on Tim Callan, Milburn on Riley, Mooney on Bassett, and then it started to open up as Martin Matner began the run from half-back. And the Adelaide Crows at quarter time with Mike Rasciuto's goal, led by 8 points. Gary Ablett Jr. got the Cats off to a good start in the second term, and were able to sneak one back, and it looked as if the Cats were on their way back big time. But then a Crows onslaught, 7 goals. Brett Burton, a banana from the pocket, and it was supposed to be the dead pocket. Simon Goodwin brought it alive as this full house went up as one. And at half-time, the Crows led by 43 points. And the third term started the way the second finished. For Geelong, very poorly. And for the Adelaide Crows, very, very well. Brett Burton, just one of the players up forward who was starring for the Adelaide Crows. He has 3 goals, Brett Burton, to three-quarter time. The other man with 3 goals to three-quarter time, Mark Rasciuto, just lurking at the top of the 50. And he sent that one home. And the last change, the Adelaide Crows at home lead by 65 points.
Indeed, 65 points here, the margin at Amy Stadium, three-quarter time, 14-17, 101 to the Cats, 5-6-33, the other game going on. Oh, let's go down to Jason first. How you going down there, mate? What you learn?
Yeah, not a lot, Dermot. Not much happening down here today, but look, just the Crows. Brett Burton, a bit of work on the left hamstring, just a precaution. He has come back, first game back from a layoff with that hamstring. Just the Cats, it's about respectability on the scoreboard now. If they're going to squeeze in that 8 come the end of the season, percentage is important. They can't afford this to be any more of a blowout.
Now, boys, I'll make a call here. If they drop off here, the Cats, I'm tipping the Crows can kick 11 and get 25 for the game this quarter.
And right to Wachinski. The Cats get the opening takeaway. Inside 50, a bouncing ball, Chapman. He's got a couple to beat. Kelly, the toe poke to Enright, to Tenace, left foot poke. Stokes has got it.
Good spot up.
That's a good point that Jace made, actually, because coming in, Geelong a very good percentage compared to the clubs around them. 106.22. The other clubs either side of them, 79 and 82.
They're going to be 5 and 8 after today. So they'd want to hang on to that percentage as best as possible.
Stokes yet to get one this afternoon. Lines up from 25 and he has missed. And that tells the tale of Geelong's day. That has been an atrocious afternoon continued.
Statisticians are getting busy, and that's always a dangerous sign for the team that's trailing. Greatest winning margins now circulating our commentary box.
12 scoring shots to 31.
Bassett. Oh, here's a chance. Kingsley and Bassett. Kingsley grabs hold of Bassett. Bassett didn't have the footy and should have got a free kick.
You just send the runner out now to Nathan Bassett with a piece of paper and just the words Clint Eastwood on it.
Limitations.
Man's gots to know.
P.S. Did you ever play on the forward line? Rashuda goes out wide. Shirley. Now John Cock. The greatest winning margin for Adelaide against Geelong, 91 points. Edwards across the ground. Having to wait was Rutten. Did it very nicely. Plays on. McLeod. Hard defence. Look at those yellow boots go as he drives it down towards half forward. Burton been so dangerous today. On his knees, plays on, back to McLeod, looks across the ground, then straightens things up. McGregor kept coming. That was an intelligent, strong lead. McGregor's got it outside the 50 for space. Henshaw. And that wasn't an easy mark. That was a tweener. And he may have hurt his knee there. He didn't know whether to actually take it standing up or falling to the ground. Watch this again as he comes out, Derm.
And he drives the knee in and takes a fair divot out too. Good, yeah, well done by Bo just to give a little bit of a chop out there.
So Henshaw has booted only the one, but that belies his performance. He's been very dangerous on the forward line. That little shuffle as he comes in. Sets it on its way. A little body English, and it's through for a goal.
Well, look, we know how good Adelaide are. We've got to work out. We know they're going to get there. So let's have a little focus now on Geelong. We have to work out the leadership group of this team, and they have to do it and lead by example now, because they've been all right today. They've had a go. They've been outclassed, but leadership must stand up now and make sure they don't fall apart.
2 goals now for Trent Henschel. Geelong stuck on 37 points. Adelaide's conceded an average of 58 points in the last 9 matches. They just don't let teams kick 10-goal-plus scores.
They're amazing, aren't they?
Shirley, Prosciutto, Bode, caught, got it out somehow. Tenace about to get shut down, flick the handball, Enright to Rook, to Stokes. If it bounces kindly for him, and it does. They're away to Milburn. Runs the wing, pokes the pass, Chapman.
And that Adelaide defence you talk about, Dwayne, still has arguably the best defender in the history of the club to come back, Benny Hart.
Long kick, Bartel with the fly. Can't bring the mark down. It's an ace. Tried to thread it through, but got Stevens. Here you go to Rutten. And Doughty is away. He's got a paddock in front of him here, Doughty.
Little chip back towards the middle. Marked by Burton. Continuing to run down the outer side is McLeod. 55 metres out. Loads up. Kicks long. Just misses. Let's go down to Jason.
Yeah, Dennis, just some updates. The NAB Under-18 Championships on at the moment. Division 1, SA on the board. They've had a win. They beat your mob in WA. And in the final, Vic Metro currently leading the Vic Country late in the third quarter, 11 points.
Ah, yes. Enright. This is Rook.
Man, just not that long ago, played against Dwayne Russell's mob South Australia in the old Teal Cup.
In the grand final.
Out at Waverley.
In front of about 90,000.
Yeah, Hawthorn played Collingwood. Queen's birthday weekend, I think it was.
Right. I think you kicked a couple on me in the last quarter to get Victoria in a come-from-behind finish home, didn't you, Derm? Thanks for reminding me.
Shirley. Doughty. Now Thompson.
He was a bit skinnier than Dennis.
There's Burton from 60 metres out. That is a long kick. It's a beauty. He's got 4 now.
They're well oiled, they're well drilled, and they're well in front. They are just kill them around the pack. So I don't think the discrepancy in statistically about how many clearances they've had over Geelong, but every time they have had one, they seem to find the ball and then get into space very quickly rather than chip kick or mongrel forward a possession.
Four-goal afternoon for Brett Burton. 26 for the season. Adelaide continued to enhance their percentage.
Like that clearance. See how they get into space once they get their hands on it and they can deliver with purpose and they find a man. Riley, lace out.
Yep.
They're going to queue up here soon.
5th year on the list for Brent Riley. He was a first-round pick in pick 12. And he's starting to pay off for the Adelaide Crows. Callan, Enright, Egan. Thompson's got him. Got the handball away just in time. Is it deliberate? No. Throw it in, the umpire says.
There's some respite, Dwayne, because McLeod comes off, but the bad news is it's at the 15-minute mark, so he'll have 4 minutes recuperation and reload for the last part of the quarter and come on for the onslaught.
Biglands and Ottens. Ball knocked down to Riley. From the pocket, sizes them up and misses to the near side or behind.
That's the only blemish really today. They haven't kicked straight, have they? They've missed a lot of relatively easy opportunities, the Crows.
I'm not going to complain after travelling to Brisbane last night and seeing the Lions shoot at it.
115 plays 37. Milburn to bring it in. To Egan in the pocket. The shadows of the grandstand. Wojcinski, right half back, spears a pass directly to Burton, if you don't mind. Burton plays on immediately, and they will be punished. Prosciutto comes up, takes the mark. And generally, the man on the mark has been taken back a couple more steps than need be when marking Mark Prosciutto this afternoon. He's got a couple of bonus metres.
But he has actually been hitting the ball just sweetly. Mark Prosciutto. Distance, he'll actually carry it through to the hoarding, and look at this, they're that confident of it. There's actually no one on the goal line, and he will be kicking from 50. Now they get one group of 2 back there, but he'll probably go over the fence or hit the hoarding.
Mark Prosciutto from just inside the 50.
Mozzed him.
Well, it's over the fence, but the wrong side of the goals.
Yeah, felt like Dennis Cometti then standing on the mark. I'm not going to take your title in that area.
You're not that gifted,
No.
Milburn to Callan. Josh Hunt. Back to Callan. Trying to run it through the defence, but they're running themselves into trouble. To Milburn. Loops it back to Scarlett. Chip kick, just the 15. Chapman takes the mark, holds it up. And they're stagnant. And they'd be happy to hear this final siren sound, the Cats. They're beaten, and they've been beaten for a while. Egan, half-back flank. Now Enright, and again the turnover with the punch. Egan gets it back towards Enright. They've maintained possession. Chapman still caught at half-back, hoping for Corey. He slipped over his head. Johncock. They can set it up with a loose man. Shirley. He's got Goodwin. Should have given it first time. Got a little kick away. Matner. He's been the driving force. Hands it up though to Enright. Handball over the top to Bartel. 55 out. Floats it towards the goal square. Bassett, Kelly. Boundary line beats them both. We'll get a ball in. 116 plays 37, and they've got a 10-1 record. Wins against Geelong here, Adelaide, and they'll make that 11-1.
And look at that, they've got 6 of their last 9 games at AAMI Stadium. In fact, in the next month, they have 2 of their next 4 games. One against Sydney next week at the SCG, which will be telling, and then 3 weeks later, they take on the West Coast at Subiaco. Wouldn't have been an absolute fillip for them if they can roll those 2 sides who are very threatening in this season on their own home turf.
What about that run out of defence? 9 hand passes, linking up, runners everywhere. Back comes Callum, though, kicking towards half forward, but nobody at home for the Cats. Massey, Goodwin, across the ground, Stevens. McGregor comes on a hard lead. That's ignored. He goes towards the middle.
Oh, there's space for the forwards everywhere.
Henshaw just spots for a shooter who comes up and holds it about 55 metres out. This one not beyond him either.
If they leave a clean goal square, he'll get this.
Burton is dropping back. He's got to run. Burton, look out! Oh! Well, I don't think Egan quite worked it out. He needed to go back with him. The moment he gave him space, the separation was enough. And Burton went right over the top, and the crowd loved it.
Oh, he must go home overnight and just picture them coming up then.
And he comes. Burton kicks another one. He's got 5 this afternoon.
And off a missed kick from the big Roo. Good hover. Tommy Harley. Just a day at the office.
I think I said Egan.
Yep. Tommy Harley hasn't played a lot of footy.
It's like a schoolyard mark for Burton. He got the Harley ride and brought it down.
Apologies to Matthew Egan, but as it turned out, he could have made a poster.
From the ball up, the crowd, full house here at AAMI Stadium, and they're getting a highlights package in this final term from their boys. Kick finds Bartel, didn't take possession, went to Enright, around the body. Ablett Jr. hasn't had a big afternoon. Kelly over the top to Stokes, tucked into the pocket and rolls it into the post. Bartel left it. Bartel left it, and it hit the goal umpire. And did it hit the post as well?
Not again.
It can hit the goal post if the umpire believes it has. Now, the angle would suggest it's impossible. It can go completely over the line, and then how balls roll to a bias, it can still hit the post.
We'll see that again. And the Crows fans want to see it on the big screen now.
Okay, well, he can't kick the set shots, but around the corner, but always grab the ball. I think it's hit him, has it?
Yeah, it's hit the goal umpire.
Yeah, and he's believed he, in his own estimation, it was going to go and miss the post. Always grab the ball, though. If you're going to make an error, make it your own skill error that you can't love it cleanly, but always grab the footy.
The controversy. That happened yesterday, different circumstances slightly. I think it was in the Melbourne-Port Adelaide game, wasn't it? Where the goal umpire was standing about where he finished up there, but hit him in the field of play.
Yeah, well, that umpire's made his estimation that the ball was going to miss the post, and he's awarded it a goal.
Fair enough, too. Gunnerboard's half forward. And the
fair enough.
It's his call.
Little chip pass inside. We don't care. Inside the 50, Rashudo comes up and takes the mark. Keep it close, Dwayne. Look, 43, 122. Call it divine intervention.
He hasn't coached for 20 years. The Cats could have him back, though.
Speaking of which, Rashudo 9 marks so far in the game.
There he is.
But I digress. I was actually reading somewhere the other day about the Pope watching the World Cup on an old black and white television. Did you see that?
No.
Raises a lot of questions, which I think we'll have time for later. There's Rashudo.
Well, we've still got an eighth of a match left.
There he comes and puts it through for a goal. He's got 4.
As you would expect, a handy set of hands to accept this footy. And clean hands here, just slightly off to the side. Nice kick, though. He's kicking well today. He's had a couple of just miss-hits his last two for Mark Rashudo, but this is a sweet timing. Off the boot.
City of Churches has come alive to an 18-goal performance again from the Adelaide Crows. Rashudo's got 4, Burton's got 5, and Geelong's got 6.
Well, Mark Thompson has decided, Adelaide have gone out and pressed man-on-man, so they just want to play man-on-man footy, get some footy into their boys at this stage of the season. Mark Thompson's doing the same thing. He's actually saying, right, my opponents, rather than let them set up behind the ball, get some easy possessions, flick it around and just play possession footy and get meaningless stats, he's going man-on-man also.
Geelong's not doing it quite as well.
No, but he's getting some football into his players in a contested situation.
Chapman gave it to Milburn, who gave it toward Massey. Handball in Ling's direction, caught by Edwards. Callan. Wachinski can give it to Stokes, does. Stokes has got some space. Pops it to Nathan Ablett, who is seeing it for the second time for the afternoon. Chapman forced to wait, and he's held up by McGregor.
Some of that tackling down in front of our commentary position just moments ago, very good. They were difficult tackles to make, and every one stuck.
Yeah. Cam Mooney comes to the bench, David King. I thought Moons has looked a bit fatigued for some time now.
Scramble inside the attacking 50 for the Cats. Ling goes over the top. Nothing much he can do.
Look, you could put 8 men in your defensive end now, and just there's Big Moons, the Moondog. You could get 8 men down there and you could seize it up a bit, but why not find out who can play and get some real footballing into them?
You might find out something you don't want to find out then.
Like this.
McLeod to the run of Goodwin. Spots a man on the lead, Rashudo. No chance there for the defender, Hunt. The goal square was vacant. He didn't know whether to sort of drop off or come forward.
You cannot blame Josh Hunt for that one. He's caught in 2 minds. And Mark Rashudo is, for a true midfielder, is as good at timing his leads when he plays at full forward as anyone I've ever seen. Very, very skillful at knowing when to go, when to stay.
Powerhouse performance by this man today and his team. Mark Rashudo going at his 5th. And he puts it through. 6. Pardon me.
The Roo could end up with 8 here today. And I'll take back that 6, Dennis.
You've had that done to you twice in a row now.
Yes, I'm never going to question you again, Den. I've only got so many fingers on one hand.
Any advance on 5, gentlemen?
Yeah, I'll take back that 6. Was sold a pup, though.
I've got you done all over the place this afternoon. Out of the middle, Chapman down towards half forward. Bartell rarely sided too, and that one pitched in front of him.
Mattner holds him up. We'll get a ball up. We've played 19 minutes final term. Adelaide Crows have had the 4 points wrapped up for a while. McLeod. Goodwin. 20. Bouncing ball. Nicely collected at half forward by Heschel. Sold a couple of dummies. Pokes it inside 50. Rashido's down there. Can he crab it? McGregor got there first. And sends another one home.
No wonder we can't keep up.
What was that about finding out something you don't really want to know about, Derm?
Yeah, look, get some time into your football players. You can wallpaper over the cracks and put players back now and put an 8-9-man defence down there. But find out who can play, who's going to dig in the long haul for you. Having said that, they probably can kick 25. They could kick 11 in this last quarter.
Margin now is 97. So this is the biggest margin that Adelaide have had in their history over Geelong. Enright. Tanais got it from Chapman. King picks it up. He's got company. Joel Corey has battled hard. Tanais once more forward at the wing. Looks down towards the attacking 50. The Crows lead in all directions to that football, showing a lot of courage was Ablett to drop back into the hole, but look at the run once more. Massey to John Cock. That one's overcooked. Over McLeod, chopped off by Milburn.
It does come out quicker than it goes in.
Also, Ablett 60 metres out to his brother. Gary to Nathan, then he goes down towards full forward. Camped in front, almost the mark to Matner. Haven't seen a lot of him in the second half. Brilliant in the first. Bassett is tied up. And we'll have a ball up. 6.5 minutes remaining in this game. Ottens, was he held?
A hold.
Otten's rarely sighted this afternoon. Will shoot a goal.
Could not be better place there to make that adjudication. And just watch the arms go around the waist. It's hardly a hole, but considering that the other ruckman was in the vicinity, you can't interfere to any great level or nature if you have no intention of competing for the ball in the ruck bounce.
Stats can be cruel. Only his second kick. It should be a goal. Very little exposed form. And he comes and he puts it through.
That's the good news for the Cats. They bring up their 7th. As you see, here we have Marriage. He's the ruckman. And it's McGregor who puts the little restraint on Ottens. That's the free. Good news is they kick their 7th. The bad news is the ball goes back to neutral territory, closer to Adelaide's goals.
20 goals, 20. So 40 scoring shots for Adelaide. And the Cats have just got their 7th goal. Into time on, 22 minutes played. Just the 6th to go, and a nice mark taken at half-back by Callan, who's tried pretty hard. Handball off to Hunt. Trying to weave his way through half-back and find an opening. Milburn provides it. Nathan Ablett out wide, and he gets there to take the mark. Possession number 3. Hasn't been a big afternoon for the Abletts. Hasn't been a big week for the Abletts. Chip pass is good. Bartel face plants and takes the mark. Back into the corridor. Stokes. And Stokes sends it long inside 50. Ottens, who kicked the last one, has got about 5 to beat. And almost beat them all. Man in front paid the mark. Ottens will have to give it up.
Is it your boy?
It is Bassett. Take it away, Dennis. Bassett's got it.
Yes, deep in his own defensive area. His natural habitat as he kicks it out wide.
He keeps sounding like a camouflage frog.
A chameleon. Down the other side wing, it's Byrd. Drives it long. Rutten playing on the forward line, Derm, if you don't mind.
He's going to go
Swings
here.
it back, it could bounce through. Well, Riley's got across the line. It was well played by Egan.
Well, Ben Rutten did start as a centre-half forward in the Teal Cup competition, Dennis.
Don't you start. Joel Corey looking for Chapman. Which takes me back to the point I was making earlier. Do you think anyone would be watching this on a black and white set today? I mean, the Pope watching the World Cup. That really threw me. Chapman's kicks.
Who is he barracking for, Dan?
Well, that's the question. That's one of the questions I want answered. A lot of Catholic countries in the World Cup, as the ball goes down towards the pocket, Otten's once more, he's on fire.
Do the Vatican have a team?
Well, sort of.
But they don't play soccer.
Well, no, they've got, I suppose, Italy.
Gee, they got some luck against us.
Yes. Now, I don't know who he barracks for. Does he give the referee a cook? Does he jump up in his living room and just let it go?
Little tweak on the leg of McGregor. The Pope is German-born, I believe.
Well, that's right. That's where it gets tricky. Myriad of questions, Derm.
They play next up.
As Otten's kicks another goal. Oh.
What do you mean? Germany plays the Vatican next.
Germany plays Italy next.
That's exactly where I want to go with the next question.
I have to run up the white flag here. Have not seen 1 minute of the World Cup.
Just run with this a little bit longer if you don't mind.
You can do it out of the ad break too if you like.
Well, that's where it needs to be, I think. And I think when you've got black and white telly too, Germany v Italy is a pretty dodgy one when you think about their uniforms. I bet you he was disappointed when the last African country went out of the competition.
From the kick to half forward.
I just want Eddie to note, no, haven't watched a minute of it, have not turned onto that station.
I didn't say I'd watched any of it. I was talking about the Pope.
Yeah, very true.
Hunt to Stokes, to Scarlett, to Egan, who bounces through half back. 3 minutes and counting. Sends a long kick. Tawney gets back in the hole and takes a strong mark. McLeod, he had a little rest in this final term.
Henchel's
back on, sprightly. Henschel outside 50. Now Bigland's leads short and can't get there in time. Matty Scarlett mops it up. Callan, Ablett Jr. from centre half back. Chip kick. He's giving his brother a few touches. Wide to Milburn. He pops it up, hoping for Bartel. Takes the mark in front of Madner.
Down towards left half forward, Jimmy Bartel. 20-21 plays 8-7. So a dent for the Cats percentage. Callan, Gary Ablett Jr. One bounce, runs it up towards the 50. Symptomatic of their day. Stumbles. Can he finish with a goal? No. Nobody back there except Bassett. Plays on. Normally a reliable kick, no exception, but plenty to choose from. Tawney got it from Edwards, kicks out wide to Burton. They have been sensational today, the Adelaide Crows. In fact, they were last time we saw them as well. Across the ground he goes. Will it get there in time to John Cock? It does. He plays on immediately to Bode. Swings it around the corner. McLeod. And McLeod has paid the mark 35 metres out on a very slight angle. Their football has been copybooked. And you get the feeling some of this book they've written. Distinctive style of play, the Adelaide Crows. Everyone knows their role. Just get the feeling that Neil Craig has elevated what's happening in the AFL a step or two in the last 6 months. Andrew McLeod.
Bungie.
Another one.
Well, he's having a break. He's earned it. Even if he didn't get a touch today, he's earned a break whenever he wants. He's been an absolute star. And that man there, when he retires eventually someday, we'll look back at him and say he is one of the all-time greats. He has been one superb player for the Adelaide Crows. And once again today, had a blinding game, came off half-back, cut through the opposition, has won the ball in the midfield. And as a backman has given Geelong more to think about than he's attempted to stop going the other direction.
Bounce back in the middle. A minute 20 and counting. And the ball up. Who can get the clear takeaway? Nobody will get another ball up. Yes, Andrew McLeod is from Darwin. He was due to do year 12 in Darwin, and his father said, I'll send you down to play in the SANFL. I'll allow you to go there. to play for Port Adelaide in the SANFL. But if you don't make it, you have to come back and do year 12. If you do well enough, you can skip year 12 altogether.
Great threat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, incentive, isn't it?
And, he made it. A minute to travel in this final term. Milburn paddles it to his own advantage. Egan. Handball wide to the lead. Looks up. He's got a couple of targets. Floats it in Nathan Abbott's direction. And getting back and taking the mark is Martin Matner. Well, it all started with him in the first term. He might as well just finish it off.
Edwards to Bode. Running up towards the wing. Carries it a fair distance. Little chip pass across the ground. In fact, he's been knocked off for going too far. Umpire James.
That's one of the what do you call it, signals the umpires give that cross over the two sports, the travel signal for basketball and too far in league footy.
Good mark, Matner. Been very good. It'll be interesting to see if he gets any votes, because when the game was there to be won early, it was Matner's dominance. Back goes Callan, missed it. The voting in good hands this afternoon. Harley taken down by Thompson. Back goes Milburn, deep in his own defensive area. Hunt needs to be careful here. Quality opposition. Kick not particularly good. Taken by King. There's the siren. All over. A resounding victory to the Adelaide Crows. 21-21, 147. Geelong 8-7, 55. And he's done it again. Neil Craig with a record now alongside the Adelaide Crows of 11-2. On top of the table, Mark Rashuda with 5 goals. Brett Burton with 5 goals, both outstanding on the forward line. And a look of resignation in the coach's box there for Geelong. I'm sure they fancied themselves this afternoon, and I suppose the thing that hurts most and flattens them most is the fact that certainly in the first half they came to play and they gave it their best shot, and they probably now have had a reality check. There is a huge difference between those teams in the middle and the couple that are the elite in the AFL.
I don't think it had anything to do with application today, either, no. Dennis. This team's fitter. There's no doubt about that. Adelaide are a fitter team. But in terms of true ability to get the job done at senior AFL level, Adelaide are a class above them. And for endeavour, for attitude, they did fall apart by the end. But that is a 92-point margin against that man's team. Now, that's probably one of the better 92-point losses if you can actually get your head around that statement.
Yeah.
They actually had a go, but this team's in a different league. Let's go down to the ground now, the ground level. And Jason McCartney is with a man who starred today.
Yeah, here doing with Brett Burton. Not a bad way to come back. Couple of weeks off. You've lazy 10 marks, 5 goals from half forward.
Yeah, no, it was a good catch. Obviously, had a bit of a rest over the break and that. So come back fresh, but just fitting into the structure of the boys. Just awesome effort today. Just real discipline.
And with the structure, it was almost the complete performance today.
Yeah, I'd say it was. We've really tried to push that the last few weeks against St Kilda. We had a 4-quarter effort the first time this year, and today as well. I think we've done the same. So good stuff.
And Mark Rashuda playing full forward earlier in the year with some injury problems, but now a luxury to have him there, back fully fit, doesn't have to go in the midfield.
Yeah, certainly a big advantage for us. Obviously, Rue's strong and Whole Blake's out, and he's so quick off the lead and nails his goals as well. So a bit of a luxury, as you said, but we might push him up in the midfield soon.
And you grabbed there at the end, mate. You're pretty happy with that?
Yeah, it's all part of it. Bit of fun.
Good stuff. Well done.
Thanks, Bob.
Brett Burton there, and that is that handy grab. That is more than a handy grab. The thing I like about Brett Burton is he gets away with it, but he goes into his moves early. He signals what he's going to do, but he has this little bit of explosiveness about him. He's a bit like a wrestler signalling to the crowd that he's about to go for the pin. And the opposition never wake up to it.
He looks to the crowd and asks them, should I do it?
Yes. A good day in the office all round for the Adelaide Crows. They had stars on every line.
And you mentioned, Dennis, about Neil Craig advancing the competition somewhat. There's always been that saying that football's not rocket science, but he's brought a bit of science into it. And I think their scientific approach to both their fitness level and to the way they play the game has told the rest of the competition, you better keep up. Yeah. Otherwise you'll find yourself a long way behind.
Well, that's the amazing thing about footy, I find, when you look at it. It's very much follow the leader. We hear about how innovative some of these coaches are, but really it needs somebody to
Break
take
the mould?
Yes, because it seems to me that by doing the same thing, some clubs are better suited than others at doing that thing.
Well, even that thing with the helmets. As Benny, what do we call it? What did Benny Hart call it when they give them instructions through the headgear at training?
Channeling. No, I don't know.
Tarot cards. No, look, my belief is when you're taking youngsters out to train them on the field, football is such a game, it's so random that you sort of learn situations through trial and error, repetition. If you've been there before, it comes back to you.
Especially young kids, rote learning is the system which best
absolutely.
helps them.
And you just know that if you can have them out on the ground, rather than bring them in after training and say, try this next time, and then they have to remember it, instruct them through it out on the ground, it is a new set of circumstances for them. Let's go down to Jason McCartney, and he is with another man who starred today. In fact, he had 21 mates. Take it away, Jace.
Yeah, here doing with Marty Matt. And Marty, that first quarter when the game was at its hottest, you were at the best there, running off half-back, 9 possessions. Must be great fitting in that back line, the #1 defence in the league.
Yeah, I suppose it helps when you've got a lot of guys like Bassett and Ben Runt who played a lot of footy back there, and they help you with a lot of voice and makes it a lot easier down there back.
And Doherty and guys Shirley in the midfield, it's just a very even spread of workload now, not relying on Edwards and Goodwin and Rashudo.
Yeah, this year we probably relied a lot on those in the past, and this year guys like Dogger and Shirley and Paul Pleasure and Riley and all these guys have stepped up and made it a lot easier for the older blokes this year.
Excellent, mate. Go and join your teammates. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
It's 1970 Blues versus Pies. Alex Jezelenko.
Alex Jezelenko!
Can Jezzy, you stand here. I'll be Mackay. Dave, you can be Jurgen Jenkins. Little bit of leverage for Jezelenko. Upiote. Takes it to the wing position. Oh, Jezelenko! Upiote! Yeah!
Oi.
Yes! Nice grab.
The 2006 footy season is hotting up. Subscribe to Ringtone King Clubs and get your team's anthem on your mobile. For example, text Footy 18 for the Mighty Lions anthem. Or for the Maggies, text Footy 20 to 191818. How's about Footy 27 for the Power anthem? Or text Footy 30 for the Swannies. It's easy. Just text Footy and your favourite team's number to 191818 and show your support to the flaming end.
Well inside the 50, lurking at the back. It's taken by Burton. Well, here's the master.
Okay, team, if you want to win, listen up. To be the star of the next J Squad TV ad, you have to buy the mag and enter the competition. You'll also get a free footy DVD. Okay, so who's up for selection?
J Squad, out now.
Hall. It's an impossible angle. Oh, he's got it!